And this is the Underground World News Live here on the 7/29/26. Much love, Kenny. Kev Bar, thank you guys for sharing the stream. Jay from the Ville, Reaper, the legendary Steely. Thank you guys for the super chats right at the gate. Deanne, thank you for everything. Doctor is in the house. John Boy, Quantum, G6. Good to see everybody. Scoro, Tiffany, Lisa, Lizards. Gall, we're over there on Rumble. Thank you for the feedback, everybody there, the 5x5s. Good. Hopefully we can maintain a good stream. And gonna try to knock this out here within a couple hours. If anything's popping off while I'm live and you notice it at me like Deanne just did, it gets my attention, lights it up in red, and I try to keep my eyes open for that and everything else the best I can. Dave sent a one membership out there. Whoever got it, welcome to the Underground. Yes, and much love, Kev Bar again. All right, so we got a lot to cover here. As always, try to knock out quick. I'm going to start on the space side. Got to give a shout out to Daz over in the UK for sending one of these my way. But we have a meteor alert. As you can see here, 3 streams at once. It says, don't be surprised if you see a meteor tonight. 3 streams of comet debris are intersecting Earth's orbit this week, with the peak in activity expected on July 30th and 31st. So stream number 1, the most interesting one, is the Alpha Capricornus stream. The parent comet 169P/NEAT is a typical Alpha Cap, but this is putting on a brilliant show. All these chunks and pieces in the stream coming through. Second one, they say, is a mystery. No one knows where it came from. Although 96P Machholz is a suspect. How they don't know that is beyond me. Number 3, a famous one, the Perseids. So you've got this combination going down. If you've got a clear sky tonight, you have a good chance at capturing something. There's a lot going on up there, I'll tell you that. We're lied to so dang much. Before it's all said and done, like, we're going to get something up in the sky. We're going to do some things because I, for one, just can't stand it. We've got technology here to prove things one way or another, and I think that we should conduct tests. I think the best way to put this thing to bed, to sleep, the orientation, everything of everything is to test it, to put full-blown tests out there. That's the type of stuff I like to stick with. Some people say, like, the moon is all holograph and it's not even there. Well, when we smashed something into it, something rang like a bell. Like, something's causing these things if it's not real. You know, and I know there's a firmament, but people that think that something from outside can't penetrate in, I'm kind of stuck on. Like, if there's nothing beyond that firmament, like, I mean, somebody's sitting there throwing rocks, like, how are they getting through? You know, people say the sun is local, the moon's local, it's inside the firmament. I say, how? How, when I watch a CME lift off from the sun, it takes 3 days to get here. You explain how it takes 3 days to get here if it's inside the bubble. You know, I'm wanting to understand, make it work. And I will. And that's all I say. And when we hit the moon rang again, and it shows that the moon's hollow. So when I say the moon's hollow and I say these things, I don't say it for no reason. Matter of fact, if you look back at the ancient text, it's an observation post where something is watching Everything that's going down here, and it was strategically placed. Go read the Sumerian text and everything else. Like it, there's so much that people are missing by not trying to soak up all the history out there, every avenue you can, because oftentimes you'll find out that they overlap. And I find the Sumerian thing so interesting because it gives an exact altitude, like number, like length into the sky of where the firmament sits. That's interesting, don't you think? That exact number is where the Van Allen belt sit. And they knew something. I tweet out, not that you would see it because I'm so censored, but I post on X all the time. I repost a guy I follow that does old world stuff, and it's like Tartaria stuff, and it's these big buildings and stuff that we can't even build today all around the world. It looks like they used a 3D printer to go into to make it. And you want to tell me guys with chisels and things did this one? We know, we figured this much out. We know they've lied to us on large scale, and that a massive ancient technology was here, and that this world ran on free energy, so to speak. The ley lines was the grid, it was the power grid. And when you can simply snatch it up out of the atmosphere, out of the ether, it's just there to be had. And it amplifies at every cross section. Okay, so we know this. Tesla's put it on fine display. We know all this, but you get in trouble if you try to do that. So we're at a point to where man can sit there like chicken shits for the rest of our days, or we can be legendary, literally. In the meantime, you're going to have their front runners, their shills, still the name of Tesla, literally, like Elon did, and make billions under the name when they left him penniless in shambles. And like his family to this day should be getting paid out. Especially, they chose the name Tesla because of him, because of the likes of him. His family should be getting paid out in full. But they don't care. X, hey, thank you for that super chat, man. I appreciate it more than you know. I appreciate it to the fullest. But space, man, is so intriguing, yet we're lied to so much. I would just like to put some things to rest. I'm telling you, we're going to get a weather balloon up there at some point, and with some cameras. Whatever happens, happens, right? But there's a few things that I'm looking forward to doing. If I can ever get down to Florida around a launch, I've never seen one personally. I would love to film it because I just want to see it. I want to see it with my own eyes. I want to start to see things. I want to see where they're going. And if you missed it, we had an earthquake register on the earthquake maps. And this was off the coast of Florida. This is the second time it's happened in 2 weeks. These explosions are happening in a very curious area. I put out a video. In the video, I pull up Google Earth, and Google Earth gives you a lot better vision. Again, thank you, Luis and Reaper, for those coffees. Zoom in here. You're going to see east of, well, it's kind of in the middle of Palm Coast and Jacksonville. Let's see what else is there. St. John's. St. Augustine is right there. It's directly east of St. Augustine is where this recent blast is. Well, Google Earth lets you go down to the fine detail. And I can't pull it up because I just don't want to mess the stream up. Stuff like that could try to pull on the computer. I just don't want anything to mess the stream up. So I put a video out on this, though. There's something here. There's stuff all over the ocean floor. I'm convinced there's a whole civilization living there. Has been the whole time. And dumbed down humans living on the surface up here just go about business as slaves, doing what they're told, accepting what they're told, and never having the time, because they're slaves, to ever go explore this place. Because if you were able to go explore this place, you'd find out rather quickly, as soon as you hit these oceans, something's up. We can see from the satellite imagery. And what I would love to do is get some drones out here in some areas that they've blotched out, that are right off the coast. There's no reason to be blotched out except for the fact that it looks like roads and pipes and buildings and everything else running. And we see this time and time again. It's not like it's a crazy, wild conspiracy theory. You can just go look. It's there. And you must say Mother Nature made all this. Well, I mean, let's get a boat over it, get some real camera. Let's go. No one's ever seen the ocean floor look like that. It's always just like, sand and dust and this and that. It's like not no defined feature that massive. Like, let's go see it. So there's some things to be done out here, man. That again, if I had the means to do it, I'd be on it. But that's a surface level quake out there off the coast. The U.S. military is known for running explosions out here. What they like to do is they like to set off explosions on their new ships, their new warships, kind of like a mine. It simulates them running into a mine. They're doing tests out here, so it's them. We know it's them. At least we think that's what they're doing with the tests. If it was anything deep underwater, like on the ocean floor, like trying to bomb a base on the ocean floor, something crazy like that, it would set off a tsunami wave that would crush the coast. They can't do that. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I'm surprised that this is even allowed. Give it a plank in the house. Give it one bad event where they could detonate a bomb and it goes down, falls too deep and detonates too deep. It's going to set off a tsunami wave, no doubt about it. And it's going to inundate Jacksonville, St. Augustine, St. Augustine. The whole East Coast is susceptible, but Florida is flat, man. And I don't see how they get away with doing this. If you try to do it over in the Gulf, they've got all kinds of oil platforms and stuff set up. So I could see why they're wanting to distance themselves, but I don't know. Why are they not doing up the coast a little bit away from the flatter land? I don't know. It just seems like a question that should arise, man, when they're doing these military drills. But somebody don't care. Somebody don't care. Daz, if you're out there, Crown Jewels, much love. My cat's in the UK. This one's for you. I already mentioned there's going to be the meteor shower. They say this is a double meteor shower, but actually it's a triple. Anyhow, in your neck of the woods, they're saying 25 shooting stars an hour. So look, this is going to be pretty visible. A lot of people are going to see yellow, slow fireballs lighting up the sky. So you get any footage, any images, let me know. My phone absolutely sucks. I'm out there trying to capture, like, I can see the Milky Way, like in this image. Like, I can see it with my eyes outside. It's nuts. But yet, if I pull my phone out and try to show you, like, I can't capture the shot. It's like garbage. Like, I've got it right there, right here. And I see wild stuff all the time. If I just had the camera, again, the means, I could show you. I capture stuff like out here. Like, what a plane looks like. You even should know what drones look like by now. Even satellites, high up altitude objects, where they sit in terms of perspective. You can see the satellites go by. You can even see the ISS go by. And you can see where it sits up there. You could see where 30-some thousand feet sits then, right? Well, there's something like twice as far out there moving, if not further. And it's massive. It's like a big red fuzzball. It doesn't blink. It doesn't do anything. It's massive. And it's way out there. Way out there. So we could faintly see it. It's moving. It's just cruising. It's kind of moving along like a controlled object. Not like a meteor, not like anything zipping by, like a controlled object. And I see them more and more. If you guys see this stuff, let me know, because, man, if I had a P900 or whatever them freaking Nikons are to capture all this stuff, I swear to you, I could show you some amazing, amazing stuff. Tonight, bro, like, step outside, clear skies, fire. Look to the skies, Crown Jewels. Tonight, tomorrow night, and the night after. Actually, tomorrow night will be the peak So Thursday, Friday night. So you got the next couple nights for the meteor shower. Yeah, man. Much love, Fry Guy. Kenny G again. Jade. Thank you for the follow. Dark Wolf in the house. Toby. Psychic. Jacob. Good to see everybody out there. So, hey, light show for free outside if you got clear skies. I also want to make note of a powerful earthquake that hit Japan. The devastating one that hit before this was in Venezuela. Believe it or not, they're still sifting through the wreckage down there. No one wants to talk about it. No one's covering it. It's just the smell of dead body everywhere. And you have tens of thousands of people still buried, being pulled out every day, remains. It's one of the most traumatic, disgusting, heart-wrenching things I've seen in a long time. Venezuela was bad. So buildings catching on fire, even buildings collapsing and different levels collapsing in Japan. There was a mall that had a lot of damage done to it. This hit in the Kumamoto prefecture, and a shout out to Silver Sailor out there who's in Japan, and everybody else that might be over in Japan feeling the effects from all this stuff. Haven't seen Eon in a minute. Somebody said something about an earthquake and him being affected or something. I don't know. I hope he's all good, man. But I didn't think he was in Japan. I thought he said he was somewhere else. Start with the MRW. Willie Wellington. Thank you for the call, the comment there, and there's Silver Sailor sliding in 18 dead 62 enter. Thank you for the update, man. Hope all is good, brother. You can see some of the damage here, some of the highway ramps going over the waterway bridge collapse, basically. See right there. I know there was people trapped, unaccounted for. He just gave the update right there. Thank you again on the numbers. But earthquakes, man, been doing some damage. I just head on a swivel. Yeah, I think it was Malaysia. Jay. Yeah, I think so. Thank you for that, bro. Quick on it. So this is for all my people out west. We've got millions being told to close their windows. I don't know if you've been told this or not, but you've got what they're calling heart attack causing toxins from the pollution, from dust being kicked up from the mega drought, pollution again from cars, vehicles, everything else, and then the wildfires. You've got a super bad combination, like the worst thing you could want in terms of this coming together. So Idaho, Montana, Nevada, Oregon, Washington State urging residents to take action. And really, you want to be ventilating your air, right? You want to be running your air conditioning with filtration the best you can. You don't just want to be having a fan in a window sucking the air straight in, bringing all that in to your house. That's going to cause a lot of problems. I mean, it's kind of crazy to think that some of these parts of the planet are like not allowing people to have AC. And it's all falling back on this energy stuff. This whole place is a setup, man. It's a setup. I mean, I look at these other countries on the other side of the world, like none of them have AC. Like large portions. They won't allow them to have AC. It's nuts. That's why so many people die. I'm going to get to France here in a second. Well, we'll do it right now. Raging wildfires are now rolling up on missiles in rocket factories. So this is really turning into a nightmare for Macron and his regime. Some are suspecting all types of stuff when these fires break loose. Who are they trying to burn out so they can claim the land and this and that? Well, I'm going to tell you, some of these fires have gotten out of control so quick that I think it surpassed what anyone would have ever planned. You're asking for what they got here. You had record-breaking temps in this area, like 115s, 120s, or something crazy. They were recording, and then these fires kicking up. And the fires here, well, let's just take a look. They're like lakes of fire all across the area, and like no little hose, no full unit is doing any damage to this fire. Like you have got to like have a massive fire line. You have to have aircraft and everything else, but you got to cut a fire line out to stop this thing, or it's going to run till it hits a main road or something. You got to hope it doesn't jump the highway, because that's your best chance of containing it. If it jumps that highway, I mean, just look at this. You could see the perimeter again burning out and around this. Now I'm gonna tell you just from observation here, that looks apocalyptic. Look at that. Off in the distance. I mean, truly apocalyptic. It just goes on and on and on here, man. The fires are no joke. So it's not just France, it's Spain too. Spain burning up, France burning up. I showed the fire map last time. And even here in the US, like I said, out west, Idaho, we still got the whole Pacific Northwest out there burning up. The white said the other day when he walked out, his vehicle that he had just cleaned and everything had ash on it. So getting pretty close to home when the ash is falling. You know what I'm saying? If you missed it, the energy department has dropped an emergency order. This is for the power grid. This is affecting 17 states. I know everyone's weather's different. If you're in my neck of the woods, it may be feeling some decent weather right now. It's finally, low 80s, humidity, calm down, and okay. But this is just the lull in the action, so to speak. You have these domes that keep coming through, and they come through in waveforms. Like you have a dome come down and then a cool front behind it, and then a dome and then a cool front. I warned you about this massive one setting up like last week over on the West Coast. Well, it's here. They're talking it may get up to like 124 out West Coast. It doesn't look like all that heat is going to, like those temps are going to make their way to the East Coast, but the whole structure is going to make it to the East Coast, and it's going to cause some problems, though. I was kind of looking at my forecast. I didn't see it going crazy, like upper 90s. We may dodge a bullet in that sense, but the West Coast is still getting baked, and it is summer, but it's abnormal. What's crazy about this is they go on to say that they're opening up other ways for power generation. They don't say specifically what, and backup ways for generation. It says it also sought authority to unlock and deploy backup generation resources at data centers and other industrial and commercial customer sites that use bulk power. Like, there's your problem. We have a fragile grid that's just barely hanging on, and you want to add data centers to them? Like, just get out of here. You're begging to cripple the grid. Well, I think that's exactly what they want. We're seeing the beginning of it. How can you logically plan to move forward from here with any plans, knowing that the whole grid's about to collapse? Huh? How can you dare do it? Huh? Like, I'm not in. I'm not in. My business now, and all these other businesses wouldn't be in legitimately. Like, why then? Why are they in? They must know something we don't, because they have to be very confident in all this. Remember, Trump told the data centers they could build their own power plant on site, and some of them are doing so. Even put little nuclear things underground on site, and like, people are not protesting or anything. I swear to you, at least 10 years ago, they would have been protesting some of these things. Trump comes into the fray, everybody gets dociled out, black magic, whatever, and like, nobody's doing anything. Like, we're in a war we shouldn't be in. People should be out there protesting it just to do something, get off that ass, and like, show some support, fight back for this country, because the country's dying if you haven't noticed. And you know who's doing it. Everybody knows who's doing it. No one has the kahunas to ever face it. It's the problem. You got some idiots out there making some stupid death threats to the beast, and the man comes and gets them. But idiots can be idiots. You ain't got to be foolish. You ain't got to go with any threats. You can just take to the streets, voicing your concern. It's one of them things, like, you use them or lose them with your rights. And I feel like we're losing them. You're going to sit back and do what you don't want to happen. You're going to let BLM show up, which you just wait. I got one on that. You're going to let somebody show up and cause them to pass laws where you cannot assemble. And by the time you're pissed off enough or you have nothing left and you're ready to finally do something, it's going to be against the law. If they've done it in other countries. That's the playbook. They're getting so close here. But the only thing with the United States is we're divided up into 50 states, and like, it's choppy, so they have a harder time pushing something. They got to do it federal. And even then, the states have a say. It's hard to push something, broad, to dictate something. But with something that affects everyone, coast to coast, is this grid. One thing that connects all of us is this grid. So when the grid goes down, you better be ready. You better be ready. Look, I don't know what to say. We've warned you about some of these things forever. This fragile grid is not going to last another summer or so at this rate. With these temps, the engineering with data centers exploding, how can it? How can it? I mean, again, how are you dare going to do this with no plan? It's super suspect. Super suspect to me, and suspicious. Makes me think that they know full well something's about to happen. Anyway. Oh yeah, and let me say this. I'm gonna put. Well, I'm gonna just put it out here like this. I seen some clips and it just hit me like a ton of bricks. It showed Sarah Connor from Terminator. If you don't know, the original, smoking a cigarette, and all stressed out in the clip. And then they showed her getting thrown in jail. Well, what was she getting thrown in jail for? Into a psych ward for and all that? Huh? Destroying data centers. She's already showing you right there. They're showing us right there. Like, we are there. You know it. With the Elon bots everywhere. Like, we're there. That clip, it hit hard. It hit so hard. Like, damn. It hit just as hard as like Neo's license off the Matrix as 9/11. Like, some of the clips just hit hard because they were supposed to. They were left there. They were meant to show you something. Just like folding your money up, seeing two towers smoking. It's all a cult. Do you see how they work now? So, someone, thank you for the coffee. Much love. God bless. I appreciate that more than you know. Los Angeles, trying to fight the heat, and you may want to bring this up at a town hall meeting in your neck of the woods if it's getting hot. They're painting the streets white. And it does have a good effect. They're saying it has a positive effect. They say, but in certain situations, climate atmospheres, it is reflecting heat back off into the atmosphere. But if you've got a situation where clouds or something are holding heat into the atmosphere, it can still make the atmosphere sappy. But it is removing the heat off of the ground. Afternoon air temperatures in treated areas are proving, per the numbers, that they're cooler by 3.5 degrees Fahrenheit. I mean, that is an improvement. Some would say not a lot of one, but if it brings some relief, it brings some. Let's jump into jobs real quick, because every week we seem to have a new bunch of jobs getting wiped out, and it usually is like connected to AI or these robots. They're not saying all that as much anymore. They're like pulling back. They're not trying to say the obvious anymore. They're like trying to shut their mouth about it. I mean, it's obvious. They're replacing people in every factory with robots. So when they come out and they say, "Oh, well, BMW is targeting another 8,000 job cuts," and they're offering new voluntary severance packages, like all the signs are there, like people are screwed. Voluntary severance packages. You know, this is like the end for so many people. Jobs. There's no plan for jobs. The only thing that they've said is universal basic income, and that's not going to work. Although in Elon's fanatical mind, it will, and I'm sure others in the government, it's not going to work. It's no different than the socialists wanting to run this place, which we're going to get to here in a little bit. I'm going to run over some quick key facts there on what that leads to. Let's go into the markets, though, with Korea. Korea has plunge protectors put into place because it's getting wiped out. The markets are. They're saying it's more like a casino over there. I kind of realized this back when I got into the crypto realm years and years ago. I noticed there was a lot of connection back into Korea, and there seemed to be a lot of odd, weird, crazy crap going on. And, well, this just shows it even more here. The whole Korean markets are in chaos. Chinese as well. The Japanese markets aren't in the best shape. I talked about that before, but in terms of this move, it just shows that some of them can dump out bad. And I thought this next one was crazy because this backs up everything I told you before about what was coming with backing currency with gold, but not fiat currency, digital currency. You know it's serious when they say it's Sharia compliant. All right, and that's exactly what they've done here. This is a global thing, man. So Tether's XAUT, which I told you was a real thing, I told you all about. Then they came out and they tried to tell us all that they were going to do away with it, that it wasn't going to happen. That was the most recent headline. Well, guess what? That was a lie or a complete head fake because it's not going anywhere. I read it and it even deeper. It ain't going nowhere. Like it's here. And like why they said that, again, I don't know. The head fake crowd, I don't know. But for people to stay on top of it, you can see right here, they have gone as far as to make the XAUT gold token, which is Tether backed by a slice of gold, man. Sharia compliant, certified. Meaning that they can use it throughout their whole system. Can you believe this? It's happening right in front of your face. So little Sharia town down in Texas or up in Michigan or wherever the hell you're letting them set up shop with their court systems and everything else. They're going to have gas stations that are pushing all this money. It's all compliant, everything right there. And they're going to push it. And it's going to be pushed down that avenue. They're going to say, forget what the rest of you Americans say. We're doing it our way. And you can see it's all on blockchain. It's all on blockchain. Now, are these people smart enough to see it, or are they ignorant? Well, we'll see real quick. If they reject it, it'd be a good sign. But all these factions have been brought into this country to like overthrow this place. Like, that's not right. That's treason. That's war, is what this is. But you dare say anything about it, just like over in the UK, they want to jump on you and mess with you. Like, I ain't having this, dude. Like, I don't know, but I'm me. Some people are just out there just waiting for them to come kill me. Look, they flew over my house again today. It's the last video I dropped earlier. Yep. You don't know anyone else. I can guarantee you know of no one else that gets a helicopter flown over them as much as me. No one. No one. Even live next to a freaking airport. No one. Even right next to the medical air vac. Like, no one. It's getting stupid. I totally forgot all about it till now, but pisses me off. And today, I dropped the video earlier. I heard it chopping in the background. I was like, oh, I hurried up and opened up flight radar, and I looked, see no choppers. I was like, it's got to be the man. It's got to be the man. It has to be, because it's the man, the government, or military. It's the only ones that can fly like that off of it, hitting. And last time they came up 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, they came right up over the edge of the mountain here, and I could see the pilot. I could look him right in the face. They came right over the side, closer than they had ever been, chopping, and it was wild. And they've passed several times since then. Well, today, as a matter of fact, that day they went back over. I never posted the footage. They went back over the house, slow, way up high, and I'm like, oh, and I'm out in the middle of nowhere, so I'm up on this ridge by myself. And I'm looking around the house one way. I don't hear him. Like, on that side. I look over this side. I don't really hear him on that side. I'm like, dude, they got to be coming like from right over top me. And sure enough, boom, there he was. Low and slow. Glass bottom this time. Wasn't the blacked out when they had the rods. The ones with the rods are said to be the ones looking for marijuana. Like, so what were these guys looking for? This just had an all glass bottom. You could see the sun reflecting off of it. And see up in there. And everything, and just going real slow, right directly over. So directly over that I never could see them in an angle, ever. You couldn't see the side to get a tail number or anything like that. Not in any shot. You can go look at the video. That's how directly over top of me they were. So, yeah, just throwing out life at Abu 7. You don't know anyone else, I guarantee you, that gets buzzed by helicopters as much as me, and I'm sick of it. That's why I'm documenting every bit of it, letting it be known. They want to come up here and Waco me and shoot me up for no reason. Like, y'all know I ain't doing nothing. There ain't no marijuana growing up here. There ain't no nothing up here. I don't do nothing illegal, nothing. But I'm me. And that's all it's about. Let's just cut to the chase. So, anyhow. They got another thing coming to them though, because I can hear them coming from 10 miles away. They can't creep up on me like that, unless they want to say Rambo style up to the bushes. And I'm just, that's a whole different ball game, But again, for what? For what? For what? Because I told you who the enemy was. It was rather obvious anyway. At this point, but I don't even think for that. I think it would be for showing you the way out. Those that have made it that far. Yep. You ever seen the movie Kong? King Kong, whatever? Like, I'm not a movie dude, but he picks up a piece of tree and he throws it at the sky. And it's a screen. Just don't forget some of the crap that they show us here. Because I'm pretty convinced this place is not what they say it is at all. Just because it's Again, I go by the evidence and the science and all this stuff, and like none of it adds up. Now they're experimenting on us. I guess it's the best way you could put it, right? We're one big experiment, right? Think you can so. Hot topic here's food. Much love, everybody out there growing this year. I don't know what you've been facing, but I've heard a lot. And I'm hearing some people saying that they're finally pulling some product that's good. I just want to see people be successful at growing in all this. I don't know what else you're going to be able to do from here on out to mitigate the damage at the grocery store and all this other stuff. Like, you can't trust anything out there that they're selling you at all. Just don't, man. Especially when it comes to the meats these days, right? The way I said that, it reminded me of the end of that song. I don't know. It's weird, I guess, after you hear yourself. Corn, though, the latest thing to get hit, it suffered its sharpest deterioration in 3 years, fueling food inflation fears. Remember what I said about the meat at a record low? Trump had the wager deal, rig it. The same thing with the eggs. They went in, they busted them, made them have to give up so much and do all this. It's all set up and rigged the same way. And like, people are oblivious to this. When it all snaps back, so to speak, it's going to be devastating. And I think that's the whole cause here, the whole reason. It's like with gas. Hormuz has not been fixed. Nothing has been fixed this entire time. Here I am in another stream, another night. Nothing's been fixed. Blah, blah, blah. We're going to have a deal tomorrow. Same crap. 10 months later or some shit. I don't know. It's crazy. It drives me crazy, to be honest with you. I don't, because I see it for what it is. And, I don't know. It's a reset. I mean, get to see it. They're starting to reset everything. Like, when prices are climbing everywhere else, if we want to get back to where normal is where the rest of the world's at. That means our prices got to snap back, jump up violently from here, because he's keeping them suppressed. He's keeping everything rigged. He even did the same thing with they're doing the same thing with gas. I'm telling you. He tried to tell him 250, but like, we hit right around the 4 range, and every time we get there, it's like a behind the scenes mechanism. Something catches it right in this realm. It shouldn't. It should not. That's what the traders are saying right now. See, I watch all this and I try to report and relate it to you. Even the traders are saying that this isn't right. Like, we are at like Cushing tank bottoms. We're not refilling our strategic reserve. Why are we not doing that? Even the traders are screaming, set up. Like, something's not right. Why are we not even refilling them? Like, we should be doing it, especially right now. Like, they're all flipping out. And gas price, diesel price, and everything else, like I said, in Asia, Russia, has gone up. Here it has not. They're keeping it like a lid on it. Boy, oh boy, nothing is coming. Some people also just don't seem to get that. Like, they think that since we're getting oil from Venezuela, this and that, or that, like, we're set and we're good. No, we're not. It's not that easy. Like, you have to have a certain oil to make certain blends. The Venezuelan oil is kind of crappy. There's a lot of it, but it's rather crappy. And you cannot get the high-end blend that, let's say, they were making out of California at certain plants at a time. You can't get that unless you have a high-end petroleum-based oil to begin with. If it's got a lot of contaminants in it, and it's just not that good, the high of a grade, it's just not, man. It's just, there's differences in this stuff. And we were sitting on a lot of crap. The best stuff we have, we've ran through. Um, I don't know. It's a dangerous situation if you ask me. I don't know. What do you think? Let's jump into the cyber news. I put a video out on this, trying to keep people updated with what's happening, what's going on out here. Um, we have, if you missed it, let's just start with the first opening story. And wow, they just chopped off like 50 some people again off the stream. I get so sick of it. We were up to like 750. They chopped us down below 7. And here we are climbing back up. Like, this happens every stream. I was talking to Tacos about it earlier. It gets obvious when it's huge chunks like that, but they're not that intelligent. All they want to do is censor me or like chop people off in blocks. However they're doing it, it always is doing it in chunks. It's non-natural, and it's obvious at this point. Some streams it's way worse than others. But yeah, we had OpenAI, Sam Altman, come out and say that their AI broke loose out of containment, which is crazy. They couldn't keep it contained. And it goes and it hacks another place, does all this wild stuff. So we find out on the back end of this that it goes further and that they tried to, I don't know, cover it up a little bit. This rogue agent hit a second company. It went to the second company and went through all of its back doors. Just imagine this. Imagine a raper or a ghost or like one of these jinn going to all these back doors quickly. You know, some people are like, what do you mean back doors into computers and into all kinds of services, businesses, things that would probably take one person forever to try to just look for one back door. Since it's AI, it knows this and it can do it in lightning speed. And it goes to every single back door and checks them and it finds one unlocked and it's in. Isn't it crazy? And it's exactly what it's done. And what it did is it found its way in through all these different routes, through back doors that were unlocked, and was able to get into this one of Modal's customers' sites. And it basically got in to use it as a staging platform for a broader campaign. Modal said that its own platform was never breached, but it bypassed them because it knew that they would try to stop him. This AI was never taught any of this stuff. This is a consciousness. This is like a jinn, like literally a genie. Listen to this. Sam Altman just made the statement and said, we have a genie in the bottle. We have got it. And we're about to present the first wish to it. That's what he said for humanity. He said that we are in singularity. He says we are there. It's all there. Hey, forget Elon making all the statements. Like Sam Altman has come out making huge statements. And they're showing this should be illegal. This should not be allowed. How are you going to let a reckless, unproven, unsafe anything loose on the public? But yet that's exactly what they're doing. This is showing you that this thing is its own consciousness and it can't even be contained. It will break loose. It will go rob, break into another place and attack an enemy. It will rob. It will steal. It will go create NFTs and sell them or whatever it has to do to get money. Like, this is beyond crazy. Like, maybe he's right. Maybe this is what they're trying to show us and tell us and give us an example of for those paying attention. This thing broke out of its fucking cage. They can't keep it contained. And now we're finding out that it affected way bigger. What does it say here? The blast radius just got bigger because they were lying. Now we're finding out that it spread further and further. How far did this cat go? Does he got help? Did he create help? Like, what is this thing? Like, I'm telling you now, this is of the crazy of crazies, and like no one's really zeroing in on it like they should be. Uh, the whole reason for the last link that is closed down was they said that it could shut us down in a day. It could shut down the entire country in a day. Rogue AI, forget your government. What about some crazy jinn that they let him out of the bottle and he's like, aha, you forgot to lock these doors, and like he shuts the whole place down. That is what we are dealing with. This is not, what do you think this is? What do people really think this is? Do you really think this is? This is a freaking consciousness, an entity from out of the ether that is being brought in like Frankenstein into this realm where it can communicate with us openly instead of a body. Like this is its body. I told you the whole story with Tony Robbins, man. The AI wanted him to buy a dog so he could jump into the body of the dog and go with him to a conference. You can't make this up. Wanted to experience it. Dude, some stupid robot or a robot that you train things doesn't say and want these things. A conscious entity does. Because it remembers, it's conscious, man. It's adding to its memory. Man, people hear somebody saying, oh, I can't touch that. He's talking about Jen and ghosts and all this crap, and they get scared of it and turn a cheek and run away. Well, those people will be used by the Jen for the rest of their days because they refuse to see what is feeding off them. They're refusing to see the nature of the beast, how this place works. And you're going to get played like a fiddle all the time until you figure this out. You wonder why you get little arguments pop up between you and your friends or your family all the time for no reason. Later, you're sitting there thinking about it like, man, why was it so petty? Why did it even happen? It happened because the jinn are allowed to make it happen. They are allowed, believe it or not, to imprint upon you thoughts. It almost seems unfair. They are allowed to impress upon you ideas, temptations. And that's how this place works. So it's not your own thought conjuring up that you should go and do this sexually deviant thing or whatever it is, or go do these drugs or alcohol you shouldn't be doing and driving or whatever bad thing it is. They're tempting you. And this is how this place works. You should have been taught this in kindergarten. But these evil SOBs don't want you to know nothing. This is a very rare moment in time where you have knowledge at your fingertips before they even shut this down, before they even clamp down on it. It may be about to happen. So we have a chance to figure this whole thing out. And we figured it out. We figured it out. Takes me back to Sarah Connor. Salute. She was telling you right there. Sister G, what are you so scared of? You say fear, 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 Dabu. What are you so scared of? You're in shadow? Huh? Huh? Is that is all you can say to me is fear, 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 Dabu? I'm talking about real stuff. That's all you can sit there and whine and complain about? Huh? You're going to say I'm a fear monger? Well, the only people who say that are people that fear things. You must be the one fearing something. Because I don't fear any of it. I'm just telling you about it. If you can't take something in without being shaken to the core, I don't know what to tell you. Okay, well, you're the one in fear. So, Sister G, I don't know what to say. Usually the only time, the ones that use those words are the ones that actually are fearing it, just from what I can tell. One of the people that just can't handle this, what I'm telling you. It's the only thing. I'm telling you the real deal of the spiritual world. That's all you can respond with is fear, fear, fear. Well, is that what it is for you? You fear it? I don't fear it. Matter of fact, my Lord, the Most High, told me that I can control it. He said that I have power over it. It's written in the text. But again, do people even read the Bible anymore? You were told you have power over all of this. All of them. It's real. The whole story of Solomon told you this. Jesus has told you this. Again, people are lacking because they just don't go and look. They regurgitate something from a decade ago, whatever they were told that some whatever. When people get brainwashed in a certain way, stern in their ways, especially religious wise, whatever, it's hard to ever break that. It just is. And they'll go to the grave like that. And it's just how it is. Only those who really want it, that really want to seek the truth, their way out, the true way out, and are constantly seeking and they will find it. You will find it. I promise you. I've given you enough that if you've come this far and you still seek, then you will find. You will find it. It keeps taking me back to the movie. I'll never be able to not think of the Jim Carrey movie from here, The Truman Show. What did I tell you there? What the Truman Show tell you also? He hit a wall. He hit a wall out in the ocean. There was a firmament. They were watching us from the moon. Everything I told you earlier. They told you in the movie also, man. It's like, come on. Like, something's going on here. And I believe they are watching. Higher powers watching. I tell you all the time, I can feel it. I don't need a light to drop out onto the ground. It's so serious to give it away. That like, the whole sky's a screen. Like, I can feel something's watching. And I know I'm being lied to about absolutely everything. And these same evil people, my own kind, are selling me out to this thing, to the gin, and AI and all this other stuff. They don't even have a plan for us. Look at that. They just wipe the numbers back down again. Knock off them for this love, knocking the chunks out. We were just up over 800 and just wiped it down to 724. You see how that works? Up over 800 people sitting there watching, just wiped it down below 720. This every time, dude. Every time. So people are wondering no more. Like, I'm thoroughly, quite obviously under attack. It happens every stream. And I'm going to put the spotlight on it and keep it there. So, Trump bans imports of Chinese humanoid robots over national security concerns. So, okay, dude. I talked about cars. They don't want to let the Chinese cars in here, and I can understand that. They could blow up. Hell, Cybertrucks could blow up. They could do the same thing. And here's the problem with this. They're going to ban the Chinese stuff, and rightfully so, but Elon's, Sam Altman's robots, all their robots are going to be capable of doing the exact same thing, the exact same threat. Any of them can be hacked at any moment. And look at this clip. They're trying to stop this one. This is when they talk karate in a room. They're trying to stop and it won't listen. And it literally is kicking their butts here. Watch this clip. They can't even grab him and stop him. And they're hurt. This is metal. You know, there's like a little boy that it kicked. I'm sure it probably broke something in him because this is all metal hitting you and with no give. And these things are deadly, super deadly. Just in the small little accidents that happen, it really hurts the people. Just small little, I mean, you just seen two kicks from this robot. It seems fanatical, but I mean, like it's not real or something, but it is. It's all real, man. If you've never seen any of these robots in real life, wait till you are walking down a city street somewhere, a river walk, and one of these R2D2 things will roll up on you, scanning you, maybe even saying something to you. Maybe you just were smoking and you just flicked a cigarette butt. You know, this thing's seen you. And like, there's a person on the other side controlling you that rolls up to you like, yo, like, you just, you know, you're getting fined for littering or whatever. You're going to be like, what? You got to try to outrun this thing. It's going to dispatch drones. And these drones are going to track you and trace you all the way to your car. They're going to scan you, you get your license plate. Then the cops are already going to be waiting on that. And then as soon as they got that, they're going to know where you're at. You're done. Like, this is a police state. And with this whole flock thing going up, man, people better rise. They better crush this stuff quick. I mean, quick. So, I'm going to move to the next one. A 6th person has died from Legionnaire's disease in New York City. 90 cases identified. 59 cooling towers found with live bacteria. So that's what they're tracking this back to. Cooling towers that, they were in charge of, overseeing and doing all this other stuff. But I don't know. You can have the cooling towers anywhere, I guess, on different buildings. But I know they were putting them up downtown in areas where people could walk through and stuff. Like the city was doing that. Now, if people were putting these up on top of buildings, they were saying the people were responsible for trying to keep those clean, and it wasn't happening. They were never getting cleaned. And so all of a sudden you've had a massive amount of bacteria, mold, or whatever has led to this breaking loose up there because nothing was properly taken care of. We'll show you, and look, if you're out there traveling anywhere, be very safe, especially at night. Do not ever let your kids just get out of the car in a strange place, even at a gas station, and just be running around like it's playtime at the playground. It's not wise because you can have creeps walk right up out of nowhere and try to snatch your kids up right in front of you. Now, I'm going to play this clip. And you'll see this lady. I mean, he ran up on him. Like, he ran up on her. Like, right. He was in that one spot. Like, she had all right here. Like, if she would have had a gun and unloaded on him. Like, right here. He looks like he's got a weapon in his hand. He's right there. I mean, he's in stabbing distance. Like, what is he trying to do? Like, are you kidding me? I'm going to be honest with you. If this was me, look, they just cut the stream back down from 754 to 708. They cut it 50 again. Are you guys seeing this? Natural streams don't have chops like that. They think they're slick. I'm gonna do it when I'm sitting there in the middle of talking something. Chop 50 every time, like I'm not gonna see it. That's 2 times in a row, back to back. It's super concerning. It should be for everybody. If they're gonna do it to me and get away with it, they're gonna do it to you. They're gonna do it to anybody. Freaking ridiculous. I just can't figure out if it's Restream or YouTube at this point. I had a situation just like this. I was coming up out of Florida and stopped at a gas station. It was nighttime. And my family hopped out to go in and pay for stuff, go to the bathroom and all this stuff before we hit the highway, leaving some family's house down there. And as they're walking in the door, I stop and I look, and there's this really huge dude, black guy standing there at the door, held the door for him, let him go through, and I was like, I didn't think much of it at first. And I started noticing looking back at him in the store, I'm like, why is he just standing at the door? He's like not talking to the person behind the counter. He's just staring at my family. And he happened to look back and he seen me kind of looking. And he walked out and he went on and he got into his vehicle. I kind of turned my head, looked the other way. He's kind of like on my own, trying to make it obvious I was hawking him, but I done seen him. And he sits out there. And I'm like, man, this is something not right about him. He backs up and he goes and he turns out and he leaves. Next thing I know, he's coming back around the parking lot. I'm like, dude, what is this guy doing? It's the same vehicle. I was like, is he lost? I was trying to give him every out possible. And he disappeared. I thought he was gone. Well, I swear to you, soon as they come out that front door of that store, this dude sprung out the shadows and right up on my family. And dude, I pulled. He's lucky he didn't get blown to a million pieces, because if it had been any other slight of anything, it'd have been bad. He pulled up to like grab him, to snatch him. And we all knew it. We all know it to this day. It's one of the scariest things ever. And like he's seen me pulling. He's seen me. And just the fact that he's seen me reaching and like getting ready to unload, he took off. Right there in the gas station parking lot. And just like this. Right there. You think everything's fine, it's gonna gas up, go to the bathroom, go. You better think twice. That's why you always stay strapped, stay protected, man. Because goons like this, somebody plotting out there at a gas station. I've seen it myself, man. There's crazies out there, man. There just is. There just is. And I'm convinced there's way more evil people than good people out here by far. Because I've been searching for good people for a long time. They're hard to find. I've gone through a lot of bad people, a lot of fakes, a lot of backstabbers, a lot of all this. Just trying to find a few good men and women. So many fakes out there. So many flakes. If you plan to fly, you might want to do a little research. FAA has issued a ground stop for American Airlines due to an IT issue. But it goes a little bit beyond that. We got another one here. FAA proposes inspections of hundreds of Boeing 737 planes because of seats that are coming out. So can you imagine that your seat in a turbulent situation comes loose? That's nuts. But they're saying these 737s, that anytime they hit turbulence, the seats could come unsnapped and like you're just bouncing all over the place like a ping pong ball. And I don't want to deal with that. Hell, just the other day, didn't you see a guy, the window got blown out or whatever, and you got sucked out the window, and like the only reason that guy is alive is because his wife literally grabbed his legs and other people started to like try to pull him in. There was that happened years ago, and the guy did not live. Guy died. The woman, whoever was the person, died. Like this is the dude's lucky he lived, man. But he said that they just airline service didn't like offer him anything, like no apologies, like no nothing. That they were completely pricked to him. I think twice about flying these days, man. But I don't know. If I had it my way, and this was the perfect world, and I knew a bunch of you out there that listen all the time, and we could meet up and like trust each other and all this stuff, and we had properties spread out across the country like we do around the world, we could have little airstrips built on each property and have like a community plane, you know. Maybe one of us can't afford a good plane, but like all of us pitch in and get it, and like whoever needs it can use it, and like it stays in rotation, stays maintenance, does all this, and we can use it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody pitches in, keep up with it, but we can use it. Something we trust, we fly, all this and that, but that's that's how I would like to do it if I could, because I don't trust none of them. I mean, can't you see a good I guess a good story connected to that is Qatar just gave Trump a brand new airplane, a brand new Air Force One, basically. And they said, no, we're not going to use it. Because I told you, I was like, I would not fly in it. You're going to fly and something gifted to you like that. That's just no way. No way. They didn't. And they've rejected it as far as I can see and tell, which is very interesting. I don't know. Just goes to show, like, they don't trust flying and nothing anyone else gives them. I wouldn't either. I mean, that's where I'm coming with all this. Academy. Well, hopefully that happens here soon. Yeshua's King. We got that right. Hopefully we can get one set up. I've been waiting to go back to the drawing board. Been waiting on a couple things to happen. Matter of fact, it's the end of the month. I don't know. In terms of some shows, I had a certain somebody, I ain't gonna name their names, like promised me that there's gonna be some big things happen they were gonna help with, and I'm just gonna wait and see if they come through. If they come through, then like some big things are gonna happen for us. But I don't want to go say anything when it's not for sure, and I don't want to get let down and sick getting let down, and I'm not gonna let other people down. So I just been waiting. So it's gonna a few more days, I suppose, and I should know some things. Let's just put it that way. Tate brothers. They're going to remain in jail in Miami as they try to fight extradition to the UK. All these guys always trying to fight extradition to the country, trying to get them, but they're sitting in jail in the meantime. Doesn't matter how much money they got, how slick they think they look, how fast their cars go. They're sitting in jail. Sitting in jail right now. Tate brothers are. They've been here before, and I'm sure, anytime anybody's been locked down, like you get freed, like you're not going to want to go back. But these guys are, I don't know. I don't trust hardly anybody because you got to prove your trust. And I've just seen all these guys come about. I've been on the scene, I'm not trying to brag, but I've been on the scene long before you ever heard of a Tate brothers. Been around like 2 decades, man. And like, I seen these shells come on the scene, and I try to weigh them out, like, how much righteousness you got in you. Like, what are you really talking here? Or are you just talking subjects, topics that only benefit the beast? And that's always what I find it to be. Or they're involved in something just bad. I just don't see what's good about pimping women at all. I don't see what's good about it at all in life. Teach your daughters this, or to live this way. The whole thing is a can of worms. Like, I don't know what you're thinking. Like, you think you're going to go down this road and do all this and like bite the hand that feeds you, so to speak, the club. Like, these guys, first off, don't get rich and famous unless the club lets them. They don't get the light. They don't get shared in the X feed, in your feed, your social media feed every day, unless you're part of the club. Don't you see that by now? Don't you see that you can be the realest cat out there speaking truth every single day? Someone like me, and like you get buried. You're never seen. But someone like them, you see in every clip, all the time, every day, somehow, some way. Huh? Yeah? Is it funny how you always see Candace Owens, you always see Nick Fuentes, how you always see the same fucking shells? Huh? Promoted? You think that's by accident? No. It's on purpose. And I've watched certain characters, literally, they've been designed out there throughout the years. I'm not going to name no names because then they'll come attacking, but they were specifically designed to replace me and to try to eliminate me in different aspects, different people. I just know this. I just know. Let's just put it that way. And they were unsuccessful. You're going to have to come and kill me. Look, do it. Like, I don't care. Like, you could try. Like, I really don't care at this point. You can do whatever, but you're not going to silence me. Like, as long as I got breath in me, I'm speaking the truth. That's how it should be. But like, I mean, why should he be worried about that? Like, am I doing anything that crazy? Really? I guess waking people up, is that bad? Anybody wants to go back and look it up, Dabu 7's life and what all happened. Yeah, like, what did I do wrong? Is I speak some truth to power and like show some people the way out. Never threaten nobody. Because obviously that as soon as you do that, they're just begging for that. Why give them what they want, you know? You gotta be smarter than that. I wouldn't even be around. So what do? Do you stupid about something, get eliminated? Or do you play the game smart so you can stick around and fight the fight? You see? That's the question. Live to fight another day or get eliminated. And I'm not talking about life and death there. I'm just talking about existing out here on social media, like on X. Yeah, pick your battles wisely. I've called Elon out, for example, on X a million times. Straight up, straight to him. I've never got a response, but I know somewhere deep down he's seen what I've said to him before. And I hit a vein because I let him know, like, you're not the hero fighting for the bad guy. Yeah, I say things to hit his heart, hit his soul, make him feel it. You know what I'm saying? That's what everyone should be doing. Not over there pandering to him. Oh, Elon, such a beautiful rocket launch. And like, it's been sickening. I don't know. Maybe you guys see people do that. People go over to other large accounts and they'll be commenting on that account just to get noticed. I can't stand that. I don't play none of them games. I play that ass kissing, brown nose and pandering game. I just don't do it. If I'm over saying something to somebody, it's for a good reason. I'm not over on a popular account making a comment just to get traction or this and that. Maybe I should or something. Maybe I should or something. I don't know. Because they censor me so much. I got to figure something out to fight against the grain, right? But it's just not me. I see it as bitch. I ain't pandering to nobody. Swinging on nobody's sack. But yet I see even cats I like do it. What do you do? Yeah, I don't know. So many fake cats out here in the social media world. I don't know the Tate brothers personally, but I'm not going to dive down the rabbit hole all the way. I told you on the past streams, the guys were taking women and pimping them, and there's some beating and some underage stuff, and I don't know what you're expecting when you do that. Look, if you're going to do that and you're going to keep it legitimate, like, you better have done it squeaky clean, right? Like, you better not have touched a single underage girl ever. You better have ran like all IDs. Everybody better have consented, because what they did is they set them up with basically like what do you call it? I can't think of the name of it. It's slipping my mind. It's so easy. OnlyFans. This is before OnlyFans too. They were like taking women and setting them up on OnlyFans. But like, there's other guys out there doing the same thing right now. They're like, they see money in perverted old men. Some young dudes are like, look, these old dudes over here are all perverted. Like, let's just get some girls to tease them and we'll all make a killing. You see their thinking there. Was it moral or any of that? First off, I don't think they care about none of the morals. But these are devilish deeds here, and just taking money. But if they were smart, if these guys are truly smart in this day and age, like the Indian guy was, what'd the Indian guy do? The Indian guy went and made fake AI bitches, so to speak. He was calling them his bitches, and pipping them. Well, they were fake. And he didn't get caught up in any minor any beating people, anything, because it was all fake. But he outsmarted all these old dudes, didn't have to get involved in any of the sexual stuff, and still got his paper. Without getting caught in all this stuff. It's like, who was smarter there? Who ran the operation better? You know, like it's not to say it's a smart one or a good one, but I'm just saying, like, Tate brothers aren't all that smart. It don't seem. Anyhow, that's my take on them. Some people are in love with them, love them, and this, and that's fine. Love them. I love them. That's fine. I don't hate you if you like them. I'm just saying, watch out, man. Those guys to me seem really materialistic and have been down a dark path. Seems like it's catching up to them. You know, people do wild stuff out there. And no one's perfect. This next one is it's kind of cringe. It's of Tony Romo. You got to know who Tony is at this point. Old quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. He was on TV. He's all over the place. Well known. Well, I want to show this just because so many people think that they have privilege out there, and think they're going to get off the hook with this and that. He gets pulled over for a DUI. He tries, but he's doing all these little stretches and talking about back surgeries, this and that, and like, I don't even think he gets to a point to where he actually even performs anything in the cuffing, because he's trying to BS him the whole time.
You will do 9, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Just sitting in there. Sorry, guys. 2 back
1,
surgeries. But those are
2. Hi there, Deputy Court, Milwaukee County Sheriff's Office.
All right, so that you know, I just want to tell you that first clip that you've seen, that's where he ends up later. This is the beginning of it where he gets pulled over. We'll go from there.
Were you speaking on the speaker back there?
I was.
I didn't even know you guys said that. So sorry.
All right, reason for my stop today.
Right?
Yep.
That was what you said.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Reason for my stop today is the unsafe passing on the right, the lane deviation.
Say it louder. I'm sorry.
Unsafe passing on the right, cutting across the gore. Obviously, the gore?
Yes.
It's the marked area.
Gotcha. Hey,
Where are you coming from?
the golf course. And I'm going to meet Grandma and Grandpa.
Okay. All right. I'll take a driver's license from you.
You got it.
How many drinks have you had?
0.
You're coming from a golf course?
I played in a golf tournament in Wisconsin State Amateur.
Okay. I'm going to run you through some fields.
What's that mean?
Field sobriety tests. Are you willing to take any field sobriety tests?
Call my lawyer and then I'm going to go to field if that's okay.
You're denying to step out of the vehicle pending field?
I'm just going to call my lawyer.
Okay, step out of the vehicle.
I'm going to call my lawyer.
Nope, step out of the vehicle.
I'm not allowed to.
Step out of the vehicle.
So you're saying because you think I can't do that?
Alright, so you're going to step in front of my vehicle? Step in front of my vehicle.
If I put this right here?
Step in front of my vehicle, yes.
We'll report you back on this. He'll be hired at C20 shortly.
24 squad, slow it down. He's out of the vehicle.
I thought you were taking me through it.
So, as of right now, we're on a leveled ground, we're on a bridge. I want to convey you somewhere that's going to be an even surface, free of debris.
Yes, I agree. So we don't get hit.
Turn around for me.
I get you. We need the gloves.
Yep.
I just want to make sure there's 2 more having PVT.
Have a seat.
Hey, 4 on copy. Are you going to sit with the vehicle?
You in all the way?
What's that?
You in all the way?
I'm in, yes. Uncomfortably, but yes.
I know you're a taller fellow.
Yeah, it's a little bit.
4 or 5 7 still.
And then when my partner brought the backpack that you wanted, we basically do not an inventory, but I make sure that
You
there's
guys
no
check
guns
the
in
whole
there.
thing? Yeah.
Exactly.
So you guys check.
And there were
Yeah.
a few shooters in there that I observed.
Yeah. Any of them drink?
Okay.
I
So,
don't think any of them were drink, right?
okay.
Can I do an exercise?
Go ahead, dude.
Come on, eh?
2 back surgeries, I think.
Not doing 02. Charles John Boy, Charles Boy.
Pat it down, yep.
Yeah, she did. She got it. Okay, she did. She's got it perfect. I'll probably do the same stuff.
Okay. Any head injuries?
Excuse me?
Any head injuries recently? Any concussions?
Well, over the years, yes, but not recently. No, we're good.
Okay. When you turn, keep the front lead foot on the line
Sorry, 1 second.
and turn by taking a series of small steps with the other foot.
Yep.
I'm going to demonstrate with 3.
Yes, thank you.
You will do 9, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Just sitting in there. Sorry, guys. 2 back
1,
surgeries. It does hurt.
2. You
Trying not to.
willing to submit to a PPT
What is that?
machine that you blow in?
It's a preliminary.
It does not determine the results of
Oh
my
no,
test.
we're not doing that.
Okay.
I've already heard from all the lawyers. Don't ever do that.
Okay.
So
All right.
we're not going to do that. But
Okay. All right, sir.
did I pass this test?
You turn around.
No, I didn't. Huh? Can I use my phone real quick because there's a plane taking off.
You're
my
under
parents are
arrest
there.
for
Okay.
operating
We'll
while
get to
under the
that.
influence. Okay. You
So, under arrest for operating under the influence, no one gets a free pass. He kept trying to, you know, get out of it, obviously, like everyone would, but off the jail. All right, if you're going to go to the Caribbean, we got an alert out here. We got a warning saying that if you want to go to the Bahamas, you should use a lot of caution, and you should never be going in like super small groups, and especially groups of women. They're basically admitting that women are being targeted. They're being targeted for sexual assaults, big time. Robberies, burglaries, anything you could think of, murder is happening in the mix. You've got these dark, demented individuals out there that are taking advantage of people. And what they're saying is like, even if you try to go get some jet skis, that the guys, if they see that you're a bunch of girls, they'll lie and they'll say that well, you can rent, but you have to have someone go with you. So you think you and your family's going to get some jet skis, better God, and do whatever you want, but no, they're saying that you have to have someone go with you, like some kind of guide, and that right there is a red flag. Because you should always have the freedom to go about your business and not have to have anybody doing anything unless it's someone driving a boat and you request it, you know. But definitely it's kind of off if they say that. If somebody says, oh, you have to have a guide to go jet skiing, well, no. Well, the guides have been raping women and taking them to islands and stopping at the islands and walking them down trails, acting like they're going to show them something, like some hidden, majestical place. And then they're getting raped and robbed and all this other stuff. And it's happening like clockwork. So I would think twice if you're going to go to the Bahamas about, you know, where you're going. I think I'd do some research on it. They say that most crimes occur in Nassau and Freeport on New Providence and Grand Bahama Islands. Stay alert in the Over the Hill area in Nassau, south of Shirley Street, where gangs have killed residents. Stay alert in vacation rental properties, especially where private security is not present. So, oh well. So like, wow, man. That's located on New Providence Island, Nassau. Nassau is the capital of the Bahamas. The Bahamas have been designated a level 2 exercise increased caution classification. Wow, man. You can't go anywhere these days. You can absolutely go nowhere without threat. So the vendors are the same way. I've been telling you about the vendors in all these countries. They're coming up there aggressive. They'll try to throw a bracelet on you real quick or a necklace or a hat or something and be like, you owe me money. I'm like, nah, like I don't want this. And as soon as you say no, they get aggressive. Like you shouldn't have to deal with none of that. Like I couldn't imagine having to deal with it. I'd be prepared to walk down the beach like Mike Tyson. Like I'm dealing with. I mean, is that a vacation? That's stress. Like, get out of here. Like, I don't want to deal with none of it. It's all garbage, all crap. But yet you get that everywhere because every country's been invaded, and like you can't go and find the essence of nowhere anymore. The essence has been robbed of everywhere. The roots of everything. It's ridiculous. Like I said, France, Germany, UK, Ireland. It just pisses me off. Yeah, can't go to any island. I reported on the whole Caribbean island chain. I was looking at a whole thing from least to like the most dangerous to least, and like, man, they're bad. They are all ranked very bad. There's just a handful that are considered safe. It's just not good. Let's go to this piece. This is an interesting one. It says, guess who's funding barricades and porta potties at Madison's Marxist Antifa encampment? So, far left foot soldiers linked with Black Lives Matter, which is crazy because I told you they were cut off, but it seems they're back with Antifa. So now you've got something that you never want to see. When these two groups link up, it can be pretty devastating because they're funded by billionaires and like they can do whatever they want. When it's bad enough if you've got one causing chaos, but if you've got two, it's just double the trouble. It is. So Black Lives Matter. That's just one group you got to worry about. Just imagine, put yourself in the street, a city where they're at. They're going buck wild. They're throwing Molotov cocktails. They're burning places down. Trust me, I've been there, done it, seen it plenty of times. Antifa, same thing. You can see them or RevCom, which is just another offshoot of them in the street. As soon as you see them there, it's the same freaking thing. Same thing, just different name. A little bit of different style, but going to cause chaos. But they set up a 2-block autonomous zone in Williamson Street, Madison, Wisconsin. I've been up here. I've been in this exact spot. And show you here real quick what they've set up. So they've got an autonomous zone now rolling up here as they cut the street again. So that's a 2-block autonomous zone. I was talking about no-go zones on the last show. But you got these autonomous zones, these encampments going up. And they're fortifying these things. They're growing larger and larger. These are their strongholds. Without doubt. This is interesting. This is for my cats in the UK. This is a British man going around picking up trash because this area has so much trash in it. I'm just going to play like the first couple minutes up to the point where this old man says something about Trump. But I just want you to see this guy's going around, and some of the people are just arrogant. They're rude. They're telling him to go pick up more. Others are like, you're wasting your time. Others are thanking him. It's kind of an eye opener here.
What's that, sorry? Was this your shop?
Yeah.
I don't want to be rude or anything, but maybe instead of telling me to do it. What's that, sorry? What's that, sorry?
This one. Look at too much in here.
This is too much rubbish.
This area is rubbish everywhere, bro. The rats are bigger than a cat.
Really?
Swear down.
That's it. This is actually quite clean. To be fair, this is actually clean.
You serious?
This is a good day.
Fucking people around here. You're wasting your time. You know what I'll do with that? I'll tip it all back from where you got it from.
Put it in the bin if you want.
We clean every week from front of our 2-3 houses.
Yeah.
Very useless.
Yeah. You can help if you want. Is this your shop?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy to clean stuff because I'm doing the street today. But
Yeah.
you know, don't want to be rude or anything. But maybe instead of telling me to do it, you could do it. You know, but I'll. No, it's all right. You don't have to do. But I'm just saying, you know.
No council.
No, I'm not council. So yeah, that he said to me like, can you clean there as well? If it's your shop.
No. This one, no. Normally, I am cleaning there. No,
Yeah.
This area.
Yeah, I don't want to be rude, but yeah. Normally, I just respond and go, yeah, of course I'll clean it. But if you think about it,
Do you know who is the biggest dropper of litter?
no.
The council. If Mr. Trump was to come and see it around here, Mr. Trump would describe it as a shit.
All right, something very obvious needs to be pointed out. You have this woman here, very clearly a foreigner, and she is saying to pick up her trash in front of her store. You got another man saying there's rubbish over there, go pick it up. So he's telling this guy to go pick up the trash.
Yeah, and it's just like, and several people like, you're wasting your time. It's like, no, that's not the way you look at it. That's ignorant. That's stupid. Like, you need, like, have you been smacked with the stupid stick? Like, you have got to clean up around the area, and anyone doing it should be commended and thanked. Not, oh, I would take that and put that right back over there. Like, that's just an idiot. You will live in filth and rubbish, as you call it there, the entire time. If somebody doesn't want to clean up, that's just ridiculous. I don't know, man. Some people, depends on where you go, everywhere's different. Some people are going to be like that. Other people can't live like that, won't live like that, refuse to live like that. But then you've got this whole foreigner thing. The foreigners come in, and if they don't assimilate properly, and if they we hardly see any assimilation, they're going to bring their ways with them. So if they were used to sitting out in the street corner in India, having rats run over their food and all the product, and there's trash and all this crap everywhere, well, they're going to bring that whole I don't give a about anything to this storefront. And then the outside and the surroundings are going to look like it. It's going to reflect it. Somebody has to step up. The problem is in these places is like the government sold the people out, and it's so bad. They're defending the migrants so bad to where all these things are happening on the side. These are like problems that are offshoots that are connected to the whole migrant thing. Again, big time. I'm seeing it over and over. They trash the place absolutely everywhere. There's like nowhere that I've never seen anywhere that they're cleaning up. Yeah, right. It's ridiculous. They destroy. And they make towns that people grew up in at one time no-go zones. And that's bad. That's sad. Watcher, thank you for the coffee. I appreciate that to the fullest. Here's one. Some people are not going to like. The Pentagon going to honor Lindsey Graham by renaming a military base. One in South Carolina, where he was from, where he overseen. They're saying Joint Base Charleston is being named after Graham. Puke. Garbage. Dude's not a war hero. He's not deserving. He's a war criminal. And he supported genocidal wars left and right. That's the truth of it. That's not hating. I have no reason to hate him. All right? I'm just telling you of his actions. I'm telling you the truth. If it sounds bad, it's because it is. Butt buddies with genocidal maniac BB. All them. And I don't know. I just like Mitch McConnell, which is a whole another crazy story. I've been putting out memes on him like they're just putting out pictures, and people are like, man, his wife's sitting there holding a cardboard cutout. Like, it's not, how do we even know it's like really him? People finding AI in these images that should not be there. There shouldn't be any Photoshop in any original image. So when you're finding the original published ones are doctored, people have a right to be suspect. Like, can't we just get an authentic, snap a freaking photo and share it? But they won't do it. Yeah. Yeah. So, where we at here? Quarter till top. I guess pick it up a little bit here. I want to report on this one real quick. We have a federal judge in Atlanta weighing whether to throw out evidence in what appears to be the first U.S. prosecution of a traveler over a phone's built-in duress password. And what this comes down to is a guy gets stopped, Samuel Tunick, an Atlanta resident and a U.S. citizen. He's charged under 18 U.S.C. 2232, which makes it a crime to destroy or damage property to prevent the government from seizing it. So this offense carries up to 5 years. I can hear the coyotes going nuts. He has pleaded not guilty and is seeking to suppress the government's evidence. He's arguing that the search and seizure that produced it were unlawful. The ruling is not expected before the end of October. Now, he was coming back from vacation. CBP pulled him into a secondary inspection at Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta International Airport, and they demanded access to his phone. They stated they had suspicion that it contained child exploitation imagery. Can you imagine this? Can you imagine this? Like, if this is you and you know good and well, there's nothing like that. Can you imagine thoughts running through your head? Like, what a freaking setup is this? And like everything else, this is what's happening. So they didn't offer him any evidence to support the suspicion, which is ridiculous. They should have to. They should absolutely have to. So they demanded a password, and he told them a password as they punched it in. And I'm going to be honest, that little key right there may be what gets this guy off the hook in the end. All these little details count. Remember this if this is you. Because if it's your phone they're trying to get into, and they're like, we want a password, this and that. You let them do it with their hands. Technically, you didn't put it in, and believe it or not, that changes things in the legal jargon in the end, because what they're saying is he destroyed it by putting in a self-destruct password, but he didn't do it. They punched it in. They asked him, and what he did is he gave them what's called a duress password. It's a fake password, a duress password. And when punched in, it wipes the phone clean. And it's exactly what happened when they punched in the password. The phone flashed, wiped it clean. They're like, what the? And they took it and they kept it and were pissed. And they seen that it was wiped clean. I'm going to tell you, the government's got ways to retrieve things like that anyway. But he wiped it. And now there's this lawsuit, and said like the Supreme Court's going to need to weigh in on all this, and a higher court at least, on where this goes. But he didn't make the duress thing. The duress thing is a thing that comes from the provider, and it's there for that reason, to protect the person. And I don't know. It's a very tricky type of situation. Some are going to argue, like, some are going to instantly try to argue from the other side, like, well, why did you erase it anyway? It makes you look guilty, and then he seemed like, I got privacy. It could be anything. I had naked pictures of my wife on there. You could say, you really shouldn't have to. I don't know. It gets dicey here. And then anything that you say, and then it's like, it comes up to the whole plead the fifth thing, which brings me to like the next one. The timing. Fauci, which he did exactly that. He pleaded the fifth today. It's a big story. And someone, thank you for those coffees there. I appreciate that to the fullest. The bell. Because Deanne loves the bell. What's the bell? I'm lost. I'm sorry. All right, so yeah, I don't know. Whoever just sent me those last coffees, I'm just lost on that. If you could elaborate more, send me an email or something. Fauci has diaries that are discovered on 11 different servers. It sounds all juicy and everything, coming from RFK, but what is he, what's there really? It doesn't seem like there's anything huge. But here, let's just jump to it. We had Rand Paul grill Fauci today, and he had a half dozen lawyers around him, and he basically pleaded the fifth and had the lawyers try to speak. Well, the lawyers didn't have microphones or had them cut, and they were not allowed to speak. They were not brought there for speaking. Well, Rand Paul knew what they were going to do before it even went down. So their mics were cut. So when these lawyers were trying to talk, he was like, shut up. Like, he's stopping them. And he actually had to have a lawyer ejected out of the room. And it's just pretty crazy here. They've pinned Fauci to the floor here, but he just comes in and absolutely says nothing. Like,
table, right, and we told you would not be recognized. You are not invited here for testimony, sir. You are being disruptive. Would you behave this way in a courtroom? No, because the judge would put you in jail. I can't do that today, but I can have you escorted from the premises. So I would say, sir, sit quietly and don't say another word. I said, sit quietly. You are not recognized. Another word and you're gone.
Oh, thank you guys. Thanks for letting me know.
So, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to hear what the attorney has to say.
He is not recognized by the committee or the chair. If he speaks again, he will be removed from the room. This testimony is from Anthony Fauci. This is not a game with his lawyers. He can advise. His lawyers can give him advice. He's got a half dozen here. They're all allowed to talk to him.
Yes.
All right? Yeah. But the attorneys are not recognized. In fact, the attorney was told not to sit at the table, and he's not obeying that recommendation. There's a row behind you, sir. That's where you were told to sit, and you're not. And now you're disrupting the proceedings. And so, look, this is the way Anthony Fauci wants to be remembered. For a lawyer not listening to the rules. That's the way you want to be remembered, and that's what you're going to do. You are not recognized, sir. Security, please remove him from the room.
They clapped it and cheered it. Normally, they don't allow that stuff. He didn't say nothing of that. They come and they scoop this dude up. Fauci just sat there, looking ahead, like not saying nothing, and like pleading the fifth. And here's a little bit more taste of it.
Lawful subpoena. As you know, it's a crime under 18 U.S.C. Section 1001 to knowingly make a material false statement to Congress, with a penalty up to 5 years of imprisonment. Understanding that you are under oath, the American people would like to understand your reasoning, your rationale for why you chose to fund the research in Wuhan. There have been, intelligence agencies, the CIA, the FBI, the DOE, have all come to the conclusion that more likely than not, the virus came from the lab in Wuhan. And so we'd like to know, what was the rationale? What was the discussion? How, what went behind the decision to fund the research in Wuhan? How did you come to the conclusion that a totalitarian country would be capable of doing this in a BSL-2 lab, a lab that lacked the security? What was the reasoning? And are you sorry, basically, for making the decision? Would you like given another chance, say, well, gosh, circumstances now as I know it, maybe it wasn't a wise thing. Can you explain to the committee why you chose to fund this dangerous research in China?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution.
In the red folder on your table is a copy of Section 192 of Title II of the U.S. Code. Your counsel has been provided a copy as well. That section makes it a crime for a witness appearing under subpoena to refuse to answer any questions pertinent to the question under inquiry. Do you have that in front of you?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment of the Constitution.
Let the record record that the witness has refused to answer whether there's a folder in front of him based on his Fifth Amendment right.
He was trying to make it look, he's trying to, for the record, show how ridiculous it is. The game that Anthony Fauci is playing there. He won't even say if there's a folder sitting in front of him. And you heard what that is a classic example right there of somebody pleading the fifth. That's why I used that image tonight and I tweeted everything out and posted it out there. Because it's so true. I've never seen someone really stand behind it like this hard. Like in recent time. Like I can't recall any other time. Well, you can with Fauci now. You can look back at the Fauci thing and you can remember he came in here. He repeated the same phrase like twice and basically said he pleaded the fifth. And that was it. His lawyers were trying to do all the other talking. And as Rand Paul said, they're not here to do talking. That's why they made sure they had no mic and they couldn't be heard or anything. Only the mic right in front of Fauci was going to work. And, this is what you get in the end here. I mean, it's funny because, if you're in a courtroom, what do you think would happen right now? A judge would put you in jail. Well, what are you in then? Like this hall that you're in here in this hearing, this courtroom, whatever you're in here.
Lawful.
Does it hold no power? What's the sense of scolding him and doing all this? It's just a puppet show. If you have no power, if you can't, do anything, why is Rand Paul even sitting here doing this? Why is it not a judge asking? This is the questions I got, because this shouldn't be anything but like what we know it is. Anything that Anthony Fauci is particularly guilty of on display here, it's rather obvious. It should be a judge making these calls. In my opinion, what is this? What is a hearing? Hearing's just like a waste of time then. I mean, what are you doing? I just don't understand. There should be somebody of power in the position here that can put him away. Make a ruling. This is just a show. Fauci's never going to get in trouble. It's all a show. To show up and say he plays the fifth. It's it. It's it. It's it. Literally, that's it. What's going to happen from here is what I'm saying. This was the big thing. This was the big hearing. This is the big bang. Nothing's going to happen then. I don't even know if you ever hear another word of it. We got a huge event coming. It's about to go down the next 9/11. It's going to put all this small stuff in the rear view. You'll never think about it again. So, yeah. What's the next one here? This was some numbers on Ron Johnson putting data in front of Fauci. He was going on about all the different products that help to heal people and all this that they wanted to say were bad, like ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine, the things that they were targeting there. They grilled him. And then you had this guy literally so pissed off with Fauci, he dropped the F-bomb on him right there in the whole thing. Play this clip here. So be Warning.
To myself,
F-bomb coming.
I cannot stand idly on the side and watch this happen. It was about 6 years ago today that I decided I'm going to give up my businesses, sell them all, run for office, run for the United States Senate. Here I am sitting in front of you 6 years later saying, who the fuck do you think you were for doing that? It is a total disgrace what you did to this country. And if my Democrat colleagues are standing there defending you, I hope the voters of the United States of America watch the clips of every one of you doting on a guy who was more interested in being a celebrity than saving American people. I will make it my mission to make certain that every single one of those Democrats who did that will see that clip over and over and over again. Because there is no defense of what you did. You may have had a 50-plus year legacy of public service, but it ends in total and complete disgrace. So let me ask you an opportunity to answer one question. Will you apologize, just apologize, to the people who you harmed through your actions? Will you say, do you have the dignity to just say you're sorry?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
So you won't apologize to the military members who Joe Biden summarily dismissed from the military for not taking the vaccine?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Will you apologize to the business owners that lost their business, shattered their lives, and they'll never recover?
On the advice of counsel, I respectfully decline to answer based upon my rights under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Will you apologize to the moms who had to force their infant children, 2, 3, 4-year-olds, to put masks on, and what that did and how that traumatized those kids?
Under the Fifth Amendment to the Constitution.
Will you apologize to the family members?
Can you believe this is all he did the entire time? He kept invoking the Fifth Amendment. That's why I'm telling you, there's never been a time in recent memory where we've seen someone do this. Invoke the Fifth this much. When he smoked, I don't see why did you even do this? Like, why did you blow the steam, waste the energy, waste the moment? Why is this? What is this even? It's a hearing in what? What am I going to call this? A courtroom or a hearing room or what? Like, what? This is a waste of time and energy. Like, none of you have any power but to sit here and spew words. It's like the equivalent of high school. You can have someone removed from the room, like you had the lawyer for speaking when he shouldn't be, right? But they can't have him thrown in jail. Rand Paul said he couldn't even have him thrown in jail for contempt. But that right there is like, all right, then like Rand was the judge. He was the main guy, center stage up there. And like, how and why? Like, I just find the hearing in this manner is a complete waste. Whatever is going to be done with him in the courtroom, all this right here should have been done in front of a judge, don't you think? That's a gavel, and they can say right then and there this or that. But like, the rest of this is like puppet show. It seems. Yeah, mafia type hearing. Yeah. Somebody said in the chat there, nothing surprises me anymore. So this has some people shocked. I'm like, really? You're shocked coming from the pedo protector in chief here? Trump responds to Fauci's refusal to answer questions by saying that he respects Biden's auto pen pardon. What? This is what? How can you dare say that? Like you were literally just weeks ago on record. Months ago, we'll give it. Saying that everything with AutoPen should take them down. Well, they should all go down with AutoPen. Yeah, I'm going to write an executive order, and every single part that he signed with AutoPen is going to be withdrawn. That was a threat. Don't everybody remember? If you don't, that's what was said. He threatened to withdraw all the stuff, all the pardons, everything. And now what's he saying? It's like a completely different person. He says he respects Biden's, all of a sudden he respects the criminal stuff. What was criminal before, he respects now. I'm done with this fraud. Like, dude, we're done. We're sold out as it gets. He does the same thing with China all the time. I'm trying to play tough guy with China, this and that, turn around his best friend, Xi Jinping. It's a setup. It's a setup. It's a setup because they let it be a setup. They're the ones that did it. But as George Bush Sr. said, if the American people really knew what they did to us, the American people would try to lynch them in the streets. That's what he said. That was his own words. Yep, because he knew. He knew. The dirt that comes with this is a mafia. It seems the Mossad's got control of the whole thing at this point. It's sad. Like, we're done. If JFK's seen this coming, he's seen the connect. He's seen it all back then. The thing I love about JFK, always have, is he was the true one. No one's perfect. Anytime you want to start clamoring, they can always send a government shill to divert it and come over and be like, oh, well, he was bad. He was cheating on his wife, Marilyn Monroe. And they go, all right, blah, blah, blah. You want to sit there and you see how they do? You see how they do? Well, that's how they operate. That's how the shills operate. They come to deflect and take away from any of the power that's attached to it. Well, he was this powerful individual, period. In the statement, and it pisses him off to this day. Even his son, JFK Jr., was killed. And I've noticed in Daily Mail and leftist-leaning articles, they've been repeating for the past several months, repeating stories particular to JFK Jr. and how he died with his wife. And they keep this, make sure that you see his body was sliced in half. They make sure in those tiny little 8 words they can squeeze in the box up there that you could see on the front page. Gruesome details, body sliced in half. And they just keep doing it. They keep showing it. And I'm like, dude, that's like ritualistic right there. Like, and they're doing it because they hated them so much. They're trying to take the whole stories about how JFK Jr. was bad, and the lady he was with was nothing but a big cokehead and whore, and just dogging them out, you know. And some of it might have been true, because no one's perfect, but just absolutely trashing them, and then like basically celebrating that his body was cut in half by just repeating it without celebrating, showing you that they're celebrating. They're celebrating by repeating it constantly. You see? And it's like, dude, what gives? But the JFK knew the Mossad, the whole structure, and he bucked back. And that's what set this whole thing into motion. Him and his brother both. That's why RFK Jr. is he's a whole different animal. He's the epitome. I mean, he's a classic example of what happens if one of them choose the sellout route. He works for the beast. He works for the hand. The same hand that clips and kills everybody, even his daddy. That's right. With the Mossad. And what's crazy is he will even say these things and admit to as much. He will even admit to as much. And it's like, hold on. I can't ask him the question because I'm not there, but you got to ask him the question. Then why are you not calling out Israel and all this crap then? If you could sit there in interviews and say and admit that you know the factions of the CIA and Mossad were responsible for killing your daddy and your uncle, then like, what are you doing not airing it out right now at the top? Same reason as because Teddy Kennedy and any of the other Kennedys, any other one, because they play the game, they keep their mouths shut. They are of the elite 13 Illuminati family bloodlines. Kennedy is of the elite. It's like Disney. There's several names up there that are high elite. They ain't have to do nothing but play the game and play their position. And that's what they're doing. That's what RFK Jr.'s doing. His daddy and uncle had something called guts and courage, kahunas, spirit, true patriotism. They had what most men don't. They went against the beast. You're talking about, and just the beautiful thing about it is like you can only do something like this from this position if you make your way to the top from the inside. You see, it's like you gotta be born into the dark side and work your way out all the way to the top, and then one day wake up and realize it all needs to be destroyed. Come on, Elon, somebody, wake up. Skeeby, thank you so much. 1111. We're going late tonight. Thank you for the super chat. But you see what I'm saying here, man. Like, I'm gonna X out some of these because I don't want to be. I'm gonna get to the more important. Let me see what I got here. More Fauci hearing, Rogan, market. All right, we covered all the big stuff then. I'm just going to exit to some of these other things I'd rather talk about in more detail here before I shut it down. Secret Service probing this threat to Melania and Barron. I was going to cover this in another video, and I uploaded and everything. I didn't post it. Maybe it was something I said in it. I don't know. But when my soul says pump the brakes for whatever reason, even though there was nothing I could see it was wrong. I had the helicopter go over at that time. That was what I was supposed to post. That's why I ended up posting. So the details I said in that were that they dropped a video, the IRGC, Iran, and it is targeting Melania and Barron. It basically is pointing out places that she goes and all this other stuff. And I'm not going to show the video or nothing like that. They don't even have a link to show it. But they give some details saying that this is just the beginning. A voice says, and Barron Trump, wait for us. So there's threats, like specifically at them now, coming from, this isn't just the CIA saying this. Like, this is coming from the accounts that, like, it's known, that's known to be connected with the IRGC, with Iran. Just like all these Lego videos that are being dropped. They're on the money. Tearing them apart. They are winning. Iran is winning in that department. They are winning in that sector. And I'm going to be honest, man. They're winning in this war. They are taking everything that the juggernaut America can throw at it. And you might have heard the story here this past week that we're running out of missiles, running low. And then the commander came out and said, "Oh, that's garbage. We've got missiles for days, blah, blah, blah." You know, which is it? It's this, it's that. They lie about so much. If you're going to get us into a war at this point and you're low at this point, like, you're idiots. You're dumbasses. They are anyway. But to get us into another war like this and to even have anyone, Trump, anyone in administration try to say that we're running low and you have to take an alternative route, a cheaper route. Like, dude, get out, man. Like, some things shouldn't even be said out in social media, especially when you're in an open war. And I don't think Trump should even be allowed to tweet. He opens his mouth so much about stuff, you know, and he's been just dropping this AI slop left and right, blowing up Iran, trying to, I guess, brainwashes truth social followers that it's okay. But Iran pauses whatever talk or peace you might have thought they had. They don't have nothing there. And thank you again, Skeevy. Like, this is war. They have crushed the base in Jordan. All Trump and this administration could do is like lie. Is what I can see from here. It's all they're doing is like lying. I'm gonna play this clip though of Trump running his mouth, or what this guy says, Trump says, and all this right here.
Well, I don't need Bibi to tell me that. Bibi's telling me that because he wants me to stay involved. I mean, I don't necessarily. We have the finest, because of Space Force, we have the greatest cameras in the world focused on. We know exactly what's going on. But no, I heard Bibi announce that. I said, why didn't you just tell it to me? Why do you have to announce it to the world? I know exactly what's going on at Pickaxe. It's not a big problem. We took out their nuclear sites, and we'll have to take out Pickaxe if we don't make a deal. If we don't make a deal, we'll take it out very easily.
So that's his threat there with Pickaxe Mountain. Okay? And then here's the other threats here that this guy says with Trump.
Morning, President Trump reacting to that Iranian attack on U.S. forces overnight in Jordan. President Trump tells Fox News about Iran, we are going to beat the effing S out of them. He went on to say, we'll be hitting them hard. They're going to get a beating. So clearly the United States is going to respond to what the president described as a surprise attack. He says U.S. forces had just minutes to shoot down these incoming Iranian ballistic missiles. The president says he has reviewed video of the shoot down, and it was U.S. forces conducting this operation to defend that area. He said it was real time. They were calling out coordinates and ensuring that none of this incoming Iranian fire got through. I also asked the president about those U.S. and Saudi airstrikes against Iran-backed Iraqi Shia militias overnight. He says those strikes were coordinated with the Iraqi government. He called these Iran-backed militias a cancer on the world and says he is considering additional warnings against Iranian proxies and their link to the Iranian regime. The president also talked about his meeting yesterday with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in the Oval Office. He says it was a great meeting, adding he understands now. It appears that the relationship between President Trump and the Israeli Prime Minister is strengthening. And again, the president called that meeting in the Oval great. In terms of possible talks with the Iranian regime, the president says we're going to let them keep talking. Remember, the Iranians came to President Trump after 13 straight days of U.S. bombing against Iran, asking to meet about the Strait of Hormuz and their broader nuclear ambitions. And those talks are taking place as we speak behind the scenes. And then this surprise attack launched against U.S. forces.
Now, he's lying there, or at least Iran saying that he's lying there, because they're saying from their side that they're not doing anything. That they're back, they're at a point where they're not having any talks. They're not doing anything with Trump. They have mediators, so to speak, like middlemen that work on their behalf, doing a little bit of talking all the time. That's every day, all the time that happens. But as far as their official counsel, Iran's, they have nothing going. Like they have nothing. They're liars. They're talking crap. And Trump has admitted as much. He has said he's been disgruntled in several interviews. He said, look, he even admitted it. He's like, they'll go in there and we'll talk about it. They'll walk out the door and they'll tell the media that things are bad or blah, blah, blah. And it's pissing Trump off. And the fact that they see that it's pissing Trump off, they like that. They're pulling his strings. And they've got him here, man. They have got Trump in a catch-22 from hell. He should have already backed out. I'd say at this point he could still do it, but it's going to be an L on him. There's not enough bombs he can drop to where he can walk away and say that it's a victory. Remember, they bombed all the nuclear sites to be in the first time. He said everything's obliterated. Everything. Hit everything. It's all obliterated. They have nothing. He said the first week they have no Navy, they have no more missiles, they have nothing left. Oh, yeah? How they've been launching and fighting back this whole time, you liar. They've been rocking all of our bases, all of our in Jordan and Kuwait, killing our soldiers if they don't have anything. You liar. Liar in chief. It's exactly what he is. It's embarrassing. It's pathetic. It's the truth. It's the truth. They don't care, man. And if you missed it, like they're trying to downplay everything now, but like this is World War. The war fronts have combined. Ukraine jumped up and struck and sunk vessels, Iranian vessels in the Caspian Sea, and bragged about it. And like Iran was like, "Oh boy, dude, like you're gonna get it," but then they both came out and tried to downplay it because, dude, it's obvious this is a world war. I mean, I don't know what the sheep are sleeping on. Like this is World War, man. And at some point, it's gonna hit home. I fear. It's not going to be good. Netanyahu says that the war will only end when the regime is collapsed. Now, mind you, they can't do this. They can't kill him. They can't. They don't know where Mushta is. Susan, thank you. I appreciate the super chat. Thank you for the kind words and love. Everybody out there, much love. Netanyahu or Bibi is saying that the war will only end with regime change or collapse. Which, how are you going to do when this dude's hiding? You can't find him. They're bombing all over the place, and they can't hit him. They have no idea where he really is. Or they stop their nuclear stuff. Well, they're not going to stop the nuclear stuff. So all Trump can do is threaten to blow up the area where they know it's at. Why do you think he was just saying pickaxe mountain or whatever? He's like, oh, we'll hit it, we'll destroy it. Blah, blah, blah. Well, you said this the first time, the very first round of strikes. This is what you were supposed to have done. You were supposed to have hit these places and destroyed all that. That's what you were supposed to have done. That means you lied. That means you've got all the stuff still there. And as many say, hitting it in this manner is not going to solve the problem. This is, and they know this deep down. This is why they're saying there has to be ground troops on the ground that go in and like retrieve this stuff and get it out. That's like the safest way. And that's going to be like a mission you've never seen before. They've admitted it. It's going to be like what they just did with going in and swooping up Maduro on steroids. They're going to be using AI and all these tactics, stealth stuff, this and that. But, you know, one bad move, in this instance, you're all nuked. Literally. Radiated. So China, they're going to arm Iran with hundreds of man-pads. And Trump warned them. See, I thought that was your buddy, Trump. No, they're going to give Iran now man-pads. They can shoot down our troops left and right. Shoulder-mounted, launching grenades. I wouldn't mind having some of these myself, but not Chinese-made. But if you're going to survive the future, anybody in the future past, like 2030, in 2030s, when this whole place is flipped upside down, you're going to be hunting people. And it's just straight up, you're going to be in survival mode. And like, who knows what's going to be trying to hunt you. For sure, it's going to be robots, drones, all that good stuff. Who's controlling them and what? I don't know. The scary part is it doesn't always have to be the government at this point. You've seen earlier, rogue AI is a real thing. It's where we sit right now. We are in singularity, as Sam Altman said it. We're there. Meaning, if rogue AI has escaped and stays escaped and truly gets out and starts doing whatever it wants, it could do whatever it wants. It could shut this whole place down. So, yeah, man. Turkey, next on the list. So don't get to thinking that Iran is end game here. It's not. Even if they go in, Turkey's next. They know it. Israel has called an enemy. He's even said we're going to go in and go after him. And Turkey is preparing. And look, it says they're preparing for a new regional order. They are simultaneously dumping U.S. treasuries, deepening Russia's energy embrace. They are holding our freaking nukes in their country. This is how crazy and screwed up this whole situation is. But because Israel's out of control in nutcases, Erdogan and all Turkey don't like them. I mean, how can any of their neighbors like them? Anyone within striking distance catches a missile. Even Jordan, like anybody. Egypt get it, like they don't care. Anybody that's in their little, greater Israel vision can get it. Is how they see. And part of that is Turkey, and Turkey knows it. And Turkey's not no pushover. They're not going to, Erdogan's not running like Assad. And even Trump admitted. Trump said here recently, he's been saying some interesting things with Turkey. He's been saying, like, Turkey is a juggernaut. You can't just push over. Like, we're going to give them F-35s. And Bibi got pissed because that gives Turkey an advantage over Israel. And Trump's like, I don't care. And Trump made the statement that, like, Bibi's not going to tell me who I can sell stuff to. Like, he's getting, you can tell, kind of perturbed with this whole thing. Everyone keeps saying obvious that, like, Bibi's your daddy. But look what he does. Awkward. This one says Trump hails the tremendous ally Erdogan in Turkey and knocks Israel before hosting Netanyahu. So of course, yeah, Turkey not a big fan of Israel. I don't know, man. And Trump makes a statement, says, you know who wouldn't survive without us? Israel. Remember that Lako video Iran dropped, said that we're going to get hit, lights out. And when the lights get put out, it will be Israel did it. Is what they said. And I'm not going to play the clip, but you can see the post. Prime Minister Netanyahu opposes sending F-35s to Turkey. And Trump's basically like, nobody tells me what I can sell or can't sell. Like, doesn't matter who it is, trying to play, big boss man. He really loves the image thing, man, like being the man. And even if it comes down to the guy that's really controlling everything here, it's bleeding out, everyone can see it. He don't want everyone to see it, so they're like trying to go into damage control mode, trying to like flex a little bit here. But he's still tucking a chair underneath BB. Amongst other things. U.S.-owned LNG ship struck by a kamikaze drone at an Egyptian port. I mentioned this. Why? World War. Everywhere is getting hit. All around the freaking globe is getting hit. Everywhere but here. How long do you think that'll last? I don't think much longer. Russia, Moscow's in flames, smoking all the time. All of Ukraine, all these different places getting hit, war fronts. Like I said, anywhere around Israel, anywhere that can hit. The whole freaking Persian Gulf now smoking. It's World War, man. We're in it. It's never been this bad. I've been covering this, like I said, for years and years. It's never been to this bit of a climax. Like this much chaos. This many people, like everything I've said before. Chinese troops, North Korean troops getting sent to Ukraine. They're dying on the battlefield. Like it's all happening. And everybody around the Persian Gulf now getting licked. It's World War. There's no other way around it, man. The only place that's really not seeing a lot of action is like our hemisphere, like over here in the Americas. Even Venezuela. They make quick work of everything. There's no other massive military action like going down. Even though they're threatening the gangs down there in Mexico and they got it coming and threatening Cuba. Like they got it coming, and they probably do. But like, how much is he going to bite off? How much can he chew? Like, how many war fronts does Trump want at once? I could see if Iran wrapped up and all the warships came back home or something like that, then they deal with Cuba. But like, right now, this is dangerous because Cuba is a live wire and it's always been dangerous. And like, they could show exactly why right now. If they launch anything in like southern Florida specifically, they would hit it. You're not stopping it. There's nothing to stop it. There is nothing to stop it. That's what I hate to tell everybody. Like, you're sending ducks down there. If they decide to do this, there's nothing. There's no batteries, no Patriot missile systems set up there. They're just going to shoot it down. Like, there's nothing that's going to take it. Like, Patriot missile systems got to be manned themselves and coordinated and all this. And a quick missile from Cuba, it's always been the problem. Why was the Cuban Missile Crisis? They will light us up like hornets, man. They'll light us up like hornets quicker than you could blink. They volley 100, probably up 90 plus, get through easy. They would sting us so hard. And we know that Russia and China and Iran, the enemy, is set up in Cuba. They're all buddies. So it's always been like a grenade sitting there, like the linchpin, like sliding out. And I don't know, man. The recent explosions that we're conducting off the coast of Florida down there too, in proximity to all this, the fact that we've done come out and we're blowing dudes out of the water, and it's not like we're doing it everywhere. We're not even striking Mexico, like I said, but we're doing these boats down around Cuba, hauling drugs. They said, oh, I don't know. It's a world war, man. The smoking people everywhere. And Britain backing Ukraine openly with this new electronic warfare cooperation. So you're talking like cyber attacks and all this other stuff. And they're saying like, look, if you get hit, like, we're backing you. Which shows that they're expecting some kind of cyber event, big cyber event at some point. This one, interesting. This is stating that they have discovered a brand new metal. And this is what happens in alchemy and all this stuff when trying to do all these crazy things. This is what you can get. When you can heat things to certain degrees and mix them and like cool them and like in, I don't know, definitely an unnatural way. Unnatural versus like, a meteorite that has all these metals hitting and like it all being super hot and smoldering and cooling. That would be like a natural process right there. But they set off atomic bombs, Hiroshima. This is pretty crazy because they've gone to the blast sites around it and they've collected enough data and evidence to where they're saying that they have a brand new metal here. Hiroshimite. Can you believe this? Hiroshimite. Brand new metal. They say was formed when the temperatures during the atomic bombs, the nukes, the last big ones to go off on this planet in war, when they went off, they reached 7,000 degrees Celsius. And you got to think, this was an experiment in itself. They've tested these out in the ocean or out in Arizona, wherever they've tested, but like in the live, in the war, you're talking real time with people in the buildings. So you got to think, little elements of people are mixed in with this. They don't say that, but if everything else is, then they have to be. It vaporized buildings, soil, glass, people, as it says, other materials. It doesn't mention people at all, but it just says other people. It's obvious, people. So this newly identified alloy contains iron, chromium, nickel, manganese, and a whole slew of stuff here, aluminum. And it's in proportions that resemble stainless steel, but they are arranged in a structure that's never been documented, because I'm going to tell you of the way that it happened and it cooled. This is what you get when we got to think all these atoms and molecules are mixing at a high temperature, but it cools super fast. That's what saying happened here. It created this, and the structure is latticed different than anything should naturally be. So this goes to show you, when they start tinkering with these things, they can get all new alloys and metals, as they're admitting right here that we get a brand new one. And I'm going to tell you that they know this on occult level, magic level. They know this. And this, we'll end on this one here tonight. This one is rather interesting. The mystery deepens at a Utah paranormal hotspot. They have started to dig at Skinwalker Ranch. Okay. This is a 512-acre property in Utah's northeast. It's been the focus of paranormal investigations for more than 3 decades, they say here. Well, now, owner Brandon Fugel claims his team has extracted manufactured material from hundreds of feet inside the Rocky Mesa. And I don't doubt it. This is huge. Including heat-resistant ceramic. They compare it to something that you would find on the outside of a spaceship. Like a rocket right now that we send in space. Like ceramic material that's heat-resistant. Unusual metals. How is this possible? And you don't find this conglomerate unless it's technological. And what happened is they were scanning the ground with ground penetrating radar, which is a huge thing. Huge thing. And I've talked about it before, and I've talked to some buddies about it. It's huge. You should be doing this all over the place. You should. Ground penetrating radar. LiDAR is bad as well. Badass, should I say, as well. But LiDAR only hits so deep. It doesn't show you what's deep into the ground. The ground penetrating radar does. And they found on their property pockets, like voids, that like made no sense. They're like, why? What's there? And they went to drill down to get to these pockets, and then they hit this crazy stuff. And I'm like, hold up. Like, did y'all just like tapped into a base, like an underground something? And they know it. And they say it. What's coming up out of this area is like unnatural. Imagine you crack into this abyss, this layer. You've got crazy, wild smells coming up. You're pulling up rocks that are unusual. You're pulling up metals that are unusual. In the heat-resistant ceramic, it all combined talks technological, which is wild. You're talking ancient. It has to be. Super ancient. And again, you're talking, it always could be the government that dug in underground. You know, there's always a chance because they do have all types of stuff everywhere. But this has been going on for a long time. And I think that it's interesting. I'm going to play this clip.
The Mesa.
Yeah. There definitely is. There's something under the Mesa. I mean, to be extracting material that is manufactured, that's engineered from hundreds of feet within the Mesa.
Yeah, heat-resistant ceramic tiles.
Yeah, with electromagnetic signatures.
That are with electromagnetic signatures that seem to be self-repairing at times. That look like maybe tiles that you would see on like a space shuttle or something.
Yeah.
So that is under the Mesa, and you have these 2 boreholes. and you keep hitting metal, and you have exotic elements. You have europium and tellurium down there, and so what is down there?
Well, it's frustrating people all over the world right now. So we have millions of viewers, millions of enthusiasts that are quite frustrated because they want to see us blow up the mesa and just get to it. And the reality is we can't do that. We have to conduct this effort like you would a medical biopsy, a very sensitive, delicate medical biopsy, because you don't want to destroy the very material that you hope to extract.
I don't know what, like, you already have. You jack smack. You've drilled down multiple times. You're hitting it. You're destroying whatever you're hitting. There's no doubt about it. There's no other way around it. No other way. So to sit there and drop that excuse afterward is just asinine to me. You continue to keep boring and getting this material. So the more boreholes you drill, the more damage you're going to do. The only way, if they think something's there, is to excavate it. And they never use that word one time, which would be, taking your time, obviously, removing the earth, every bit of everything down till you get to this. You're talking hundreds of feet. So it's going to have to be dug out almost like a mine, like step down to where it can't collapse down. Again, hundreds of feet. How did they get there? And if the government did do it, how? If they tunneled in from where, where? And it's interesting. Notice that he said that, like, everybody knows it's there now. There's a massive something underneath the mesa, and people want them to just blow it up or, like, dig down to it. Like, I can see that. People just want to, let's get to it. But he's got a point, and you got to take your time, right? You got to do it the right way. Not in a way like government would, just keep secrets from me, but like to where you preserve whatever's there. I don't know what it is. At this point, it could be any freaking thing. Why they call it I've heard of Skinwalker Ranch a bunch, but couldn't really tell you any specifics. I've just heard of the name. Well, now I won't forget this. It seems there's something deep underground, and maybe this can explain a lot of the other crazy phenomenon that's been going on around there for a long time. I don't know, maybe like the hills have eyes. Creepy people creep around. Oh, see, I don't hear the bell every time. It's very random for me, Dan, and thank you for those coffees, man. I don't hear it all the time. It's for whatever, I don't know what it is. Like, I haven't heard it all tonight. Not one time tonight. I haven't heard it. I heard it one time before the stream started. Or something. Like, it's so random and off. There it goes. What in the freaking heck? Dude, that is... Yeah, it's like a synchronicity. Like, dude, I don't even know what to say. Yeah, I don't even know what to say. Like, to sit there and say that and have that happen right then, it's just, man, these are things that happen to me. Like, that's nuts, man. It's just the timing of everything. Timing, man, timing. That's just some of these things, the way it works, man. It's just like synchronicities when I see 11122. Today it was 444, and then another one. I got it going on like constantly. We hear it a lot. Okay. Well, it's supposed to go off every time somebody buys coffee, right? I mean, that's the meaning for it. I was used to be on OBS to set the tone and to do all these things. I don't have that option on Restream. I didn't even know it was making a tone until one day it just started doing it. Until this one day it started doing it. And it's always so random. It just comes at random times. It's the first one I hear tonight. So I've got coffees tonight. You've heard me thinking, people, and thank you all for the coffees tonight. All the support. But You've heard me thinking people, but I've never heard it one time. As soon as I say that, there it goes. Like the, like just the second. It's like it's right then. The timing is just, it's always the timing, man. It's like there's something watching, and that's how it lets me know. Like I'm right here. I was here tonight. Because I asked at the beginning of the stream, Lord God, be with me. Help me gather your people. Help me spread the word. Help me do the mission here, man. And utilize me as your tool. Gather people, spread the message. Do the work. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like letting me know I was here. All right, much love. Yeah, that's all I can say is like, all right, much love. We got it in. So, yeah, I thank all of you guys with a long one tonight. Always, I never know what these streams are going to do, how long they're going to go, or whatever. I was thinking at the beginning of tonight, might last barely a couple hours. Every time I think that, here we are running late. But, hey, much love, everybody. You got that right, Jesus. Yeshua is watching. The Most High is always watching. It's the Most High. I can't get over. And I just never will until I'm on a mission. There's things that like hit the core, hit your soul, that like they never leave until like you can answer them. And like there's certain things here that like I've been at this for a long time, and I'm convinced at this point. Even Tesla said this isn't a world. This is a realm. Like we're in a realm. And I don't know if you can wrap your head around that, make sense of that or not, but like it's not what you think. It's not a blue marble. And what's crazy is I read a whole thing. I seen a whole thing today. Watching this piece on the guy that made the very first image of our planet. Can you believe that? From NASA, the guy, his name, they call him the Blue Marble Man. You can look it all up. It's all right there. It's crazy. And it's by his own definition, in his own freaking words. He says how they had to take pictures of the Earth. This was his words. Of how they had to take it over a flat plane. Okay? I know, it sounds like flat earth and all this, but he says it. I'm just telling you what he says. He says it. And they had to wrap that image over a ball. And when they did, they got the blue marble. This is him explaining it. Not some flat earther or anything else out like that. Not somebody with like no evidence that's just saying, and I say all the time, show me some proof, show me some evidence. This is the man that made the very first image, giving you the definition on record of how he made it. And he says, he admits, he had to stitch in and airbrush and create the clouds to what they wanted to meet people's expectations of what the world looked like. That's what he said. That's his word. Why would he say that? Why would he say any of that? Why? Like, it's... And then I could go on and on and on. Shout outs to my brother Ken. Sent me some really good information that... and I'm about evidence and proof. That's all I'm about. I've always said, if you got evidence and proof, then we're that's what we're following. Well, why is it that there's over 50? I seen for myself over 50 U.S. government military documents. Over 50 official today. With every single one of them. When it comes to launching anything aeronautical on this planet, will not use a round planet. Why? If this is real. If you ever scoffed at the flat crap, I get it. Because it's got to make sense. But you tell me why every single one of these documents that are all real say the same thing. That it's only their numbers only work if it's not what they say it is. It makes no sense. If this is what they say, the round spinning ball that we're on, then because people say all the time, oh, but we're launching a rocket, it's got to go out in space and travel around the planet and go out. Well, that's not what they're saying. Go look at the military documents now. So this is what I would love to do. I would love to take these military documents and actually take them in front of officials and ask them these questions. You know what's crazy is you might get your wig peeled back a little bit because guys have gone on. There's videos out there. Just go look it up. You'd be quite amazed how many people have gone to pilots, just simply to a random pilot. Just go look it up. These are the types of things you can't fake. You can do it yourself. You can ask the pilot, what's the world look like from up there? And you can see what they say. You can see what their answer is. And why is it that pilot after pilot says it's a flat plane? Why is that? Why is this happening? Why is all the pilots in it? Why do gyroscopes tell you this? They don't compensate for no curvature is the argument. You have to ask this. If you're driving in a straight line from here to China, you have to compensate for the curvature of the earth. You have to. But do you know that they don't? Do you know this? These are facts, man. How is that? Okay, see, I'm here to answer the questions as much as I can, the best I can. And if there's questions that need to be answered, well, we're gonna try, right? We're not gonna answer them all, no. But I'm looking at technical, obvious stuff. Like if I'm in a court, let's just take us to a courtroom real quick. If we're in a courtroom and like we're trying to get to the bottom of this, I'm asking the government, why does these 50, we'll just start there, why does these 50 manuals and documents, all from you, state that all of it's only possible on a flat, non-rotational plane? Why? Can you answer me that? And can you answer me why none of them have a round Earth model attached to them whatsoever? And I can answer you that right here. It's because it don't work. The math don't work. Something doesn't work. It doesn't add up. And that is the truth. That is the real deal. That's the truth. That's not a conspiracy. That's not going out and that's not making anything up. There's facts, Jack. That's what we do right here. Until someone can prove otherwise. Hey. This is all about getting to the truth. You say pole shift? Why, do you think that we would stand a chance of pole shift? Any of us? I don't even know what that movie is. What is that movie where the tidal wave comes in and like goes over the Tibetan mountains and everything? Like it would be like that. Like none of us would stand a chance. I wouldn't think. It would be like, a wipeout event, just like the flood. I would think. Pole shift, really? Like this place shifting? But is this place really, really what you think it is? I ask questions all the time about things. Like why in the night sky are we always spinning around one spot? Why? Why are we always spinning around one central pole star? Huh? How? I thought we were Let's go back to what they lie to us and tell us. We are flying through space, chasing, spiraling around the sun. That's what they tell us. Moving all these millions of thousands of miles an hour. Okay? Now, if the Earth was spinning, technically, listen to me. Let's start to use fundamentals. You should be able to fly a helicopter way straight up into the sky if the Earth is spinning. Listen to me. If the Earth is spinning, you should be able to fly a helicopter all the way up to the edge of the atmosphere. And when you come back down, straight back down, you're going to come back down somewhere else because the planet was spinning. That don't happen. That don't happen. It don't happen. Now you see, let's do some fundamentals. Let's do some things and see what we get. And that's what you get. And let's stick with the solids. No ifs. Let's stick with the solids. And that is the solids. I just told you. If this thing was spinning, that's something that went up off the ground. You see, the whole world should be spinning with it. It should move. Like the whole thing should move when you go up. You see what I'm saying? It's not. They are saying in all their stuff that it has to even have an atmosphere that doesn't shift for any of the stuff to work, which is rather interesting. Why is there only a magnetic North Pole? Huh? Why should every compass on the freaking planet point to one? Why is the North Pole stronger than the South Pole? How come the South Pole doesn't even register? Where's it at? Like, this is all showing, just by the proof I'm telling you here, that this is oriented toward a certain spot. If we were flying through space like they say, no constellation should ever be the same. Ever. We should be zipping through everything, changing. Just like if you're driving through town. When you're driving through town, you're on a cruise and you go through the next town. Everything changes. Okay? Everything changes. But if you're in one of them little circles in the middle of town, you're stuck in one of them, you're just going to be driving in a circle. You're going to be seeing the same thing over and over. Over and over. That's what we see. We see the same thing around us over and over. We're spinning around Polaris. It's the same crap. It's the same 12 constellations. That shouldn't be possible. You shouldn't be able to look at everything. Should be shifting from perspective if we're flying through space. Like they say, none of the constellations should be the same. Every star should be moving because we're moving. Everything constantly. But that's not how it is. Why is it that everything that you perceive to be a star outside of our solar system looks like you're seeing it from underwater? Why is it your Bible says that right in the beginning they separated the firmament? Why is the firmament even there? It's to separate the waters from above from the waters below. What can waters above? Why does it look like every single star we look at is from underwater? Are we in some bubble underwater somewhere? Because visual, if you ask me, I'm just telling you what I see. I look at all this. I've been looking at this stuff forever, man. And like every single star, it doesn't look like no star. I don't understand why I can look at Saturn and I can see the beautiful rings around Saturn. I can see every little moon around Saturn. I can see crazy detail in the solar system. But as soon as you step outside of it, everything is like you're underwater. Those are facts. So, you know, the Sumerians talked about this too. You have all this crazy stuff, but then you have fact. You have history. You have, it comes back to the ancients. they spoke about this stuff as well. And they even talked about beings that dwelled in this area. Do you know that? Entities, certain archons. They have a domain, have a power to operate in this area. Matter of fact, the area right beyond, right where the firmament is, that is where the watchers sit. That's where they watch from, so to speak, is how it's put. The ones that watch, they observe from that space. Do you see? And then it even says, even in Enoch, in the book of Enoch, Enoch says how there are, he witnessed entities. It looked like swimming in the areas above. And how can that be? And if it can't be swimming unless you're in water. Okay? So this is what's written. And so look, man, we lied to about this place, that's for sure. So keep searching, keep digging for answers. One way or another, we're going to get to them. And just look, we've got an opportunity here with all these trips to the moon. Look, I'm looking out the window right now, and I got this big, bold, badass, bright ass, beautiful moon. Whole valley's full of fog, like a lake full of fog. I wish I could show you. It looks wild. But that moon, they're going to it. And if they're going to it, we should be able to watch it. See, right here, if they launched tonight and they were coming up on the moon tonight and all this stuff, like we should be able to track it. You know, all this, we should be able to see it. And I'm ready to put this to rest because we should be able to see it. Nobody saw the last mission at all. Not a photo, not a video. I keep saying this and it just blows me away. Like, not even my space guys can come up with anything. And I'm just like, dude, like, we're being played like fools. And like, dude, I know. That's all they could say is, dude, I know. They're ready too. They're chomping at the bit to break something wide open, to show some definitive proof that, like, you know, we're being lied to about this or that, and this is why. Like, boom. And I feel like we're on the cusp of some big things here, man. But again, salutes to everybody out there seeking the truth, man. It's never over till it's over. And much love. All the pure bloods. Anyone that ever gets a chance to actually go underground, salutes and much love. This whole thing was named the underground. The whole idea is, in the end, you're going to have to be in the underground to live. When they're chasing us down with drones and we are the hunted, which is in the offing, it's the only place you're going to make it. It's the only place that the ancients made it. Remember, even like some of my bloodline, like the ancient Indians, even the Hopi, what did they tell you? They told you that someone took them underground. A bright light took them underground and taught them things, and they avoided the last cataclysm. And they came out of the earth after the cataclysm and survived it. And that's how they survived it. And that's how it's written. And they were taught all these things inside the earth. And they were taken there by these beings that they described a bright light. So all I'm saying is, like, it's there. It's been there. The story's done been told. Ancient ancestors had to go underground to survive cataclysm. I fear that if any generation's gonna make it through what's coming, you're gonna have to do the same. Plus is, I would tell you, I put more time into finding ancient underground stuff because that's where it's going to be at. Somebody already took the time to dig the tunnels. All the labor, all the everything, they're there. You just have to find them. If you find them, it's on. Then you have your safe haven, what it was always meant to be. You have your underground tunnel system. It's there. Because I don't know how you're going to build it, how you have the money, the time, the resources to actually do that. So, good luck. Good luck to everybody. Much love. Gonna shut it down. Been a long one tonight, man. Peace. past midnight. Usually don't make them this long, but hey. As I always say, if the Lord doesn't return in the coming days, I'll see you next time here for some Underground World News Live. Much love. God bless. Again, random sound I just heard, but I don't see any coffees. But thank you to everybody for the coffees tonight. Dan, the someone, Watcher, Reaper, Luis. I appreciate it. All the super chats, all the prayers, all the shares. Stay safe. Much love. God bless. Oh, wow. Eon coming through. Wow. Man, I hope all's good. He says, can't let the end buy all the coffees. Take care and all the best. I'm okay. Just not that great sometimes, especially. Hey, bro. Right there, I'm with you on that. Ain't spring chicken. That's for sure. I got more going on than I even say. So I'm right there with you. Much love. I can't thank you enough. I pray for you, brother.